Hey, folks, it's Dave here on what is tonight, Sunday? I don't even know. I've just been going to the rink every single day, one rink, two rinks, whatever it is. And someone was talking to me the other day, says, did you do the game yesterday? Says, I must have. I've been here every single day this week, it feels like. So here we are, Sunday night. The time change is not helping either, by the way. That's the other thing. Is that hour ahead. Actually, it works out nice because you can, drive home at night now with a little bit more light. I like the light at night rather than in the morning. It's kind of how it goes for me. But anyway, I haven't played anything because it has been working, but I did carve out a little bit of time tonight to dedicate to an unboxing that I got here. It was an unscheduled unboxing. And every time I say that, it reminds me of Stargate. You ever watch Stargate SG-1 when it's like, and we have an unscheduled off-world activation when they're coming through the Stargate when no one's supposed to be coming back? That's kind of what it is. But let's take a look at what we have here. I'm really excited to look at this here. It was from Chris White. So anytime something comes in from Chris White, it's usually something pretty good. I am really tempted. I'm this close. Look how close my fingers are. I'm this close to picking up either a USFL or WFL football set from Chris White. I know I don't play a lot of Apple football because it's a long game, but I really would like one of those sets to play here. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. I did pick up. It's supposed to be on the way from Kenny. I bought his 1983 Apple football set, so I'll unbox that when that arrives. Hopefully later this week. But it depends how big my check is and how big my credit card is after I pay off the credit card from all these extra jobs I'm doing. But the teams are in the playoffs and they're all playing the same time. So it seems to be 2 games, 3 games, 1 game, 3 games. It's fun. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's fun. The other night was fun. I gave some shout outs. Some of the people coming up and saying, hey, we like watching you. And we have friends from around the country, relatives. So I had to give a shout out to Grandma Judy in Chicago was one of the shout outs. That was kind of fun. And then I had a shout out for Susan in California. And then, if you can believe it, I had Joe and Brenda in Maui watching the hockey broadcast the other day. And it must have been early in the morning, right? Hawaii's got to be 6 hours behind Boston because California's 3, and I think Hawaii's another 3. So, whatever time it was I was doing the game, it must have been in the morning out in Hawaii. So, it's kind of fun to have people all around watching you and checking in and saying hi and the whole bit. It's a good feeling. Anyway, let's get down to the table here as we got the chit chat out of the way. And this is what I got. It comes, and this came in fast. So Chris says, I got a package coming out, and like, boom, it was here. So let's see. Let's see what's. I had no idea this was coming. No idea. Well, a small idea. Someone tipped me off that something might be coming in the mail today. So let's see what it is. All righty. So let's just be careful here. Be careful. Okay. Okay, perfect. There we go. Okay, so it looks like we have some cards in here. So what do we possibly have? Okay, that's all that's inside of here. So it looks like we have some cards. Okay, so let me zoom in a little bit here and we'll check this out. Again, no idea what's going on with this. So here we go. Okay, so that's what I have. I got some cards here and I got some envelopes. So what do we have here? So that's what I have. Okay, so I got some cards, front and back. And I got, so I have the Pawnee pulp. Now these are cool. Look at they're so old school. It's kind of like the old what are these the baseball cards that came in the tobacco is what it was. It wasn't bubble gum back in the day. It was like they came in like with cigarettes or tobacco or something like that. That's the look I get here. So I have the Pawnee Pulp baseball team. I have the Langhorne Lookouts. Okay. I have the Kokomo Clippers. I had a friend of mine who was born in Kokomo. The Kokomo Clippers. And I have the Erie Edge and the Stansville Style. Catch the style. And the Manitoba Mustard. How about that? So how many teams do we have here? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 6 teams here. And I'm wondering what these teams are. Okay, so that's what I got. Like my six envelopes here, my 6 teams. Okay, so it looks like here, now that it makes sense, now that I know the teams here. So we have, looks like we have some guys here, and let's take a look through them here. So let's start with this pile right here. Let's start with this pile right here. Okay, so yes, it does look like apricots. Okay, that I will agree with. It does look like apricots here. As we have some roads coming by, and hopefully he'll fill us in on what's going on with this. Mr. Ray. Mr. Ray's coming by. How's it going, Mr. Ray? What have you guys been playing, by the way? I haven't played anything. I'm hoping to start playing some stuff here. Blaine comes by. I'm playing Sean and Barbara. I know Barbara's playing Payoff Pitch. She likes doing that. Demi comes by. Good to see you. Dr. Jim, thank you for coming by. And Tribe says 5 hours to Hawaii. Okay, so just to have an idea on a time difference. And Philip comes by. Good to see you. And Ryan as well. Good to see you, Ryan. Yeah, and yeah, there's buzz about a soccer show here, Ryan. There really is. I'm tempted to maybe pick up Appa Soccer once I start getting paid for all these extra jobs I'm doing. I'm tempted, Ryan. I really am. Yeah, you almost sold me on it. You almost sold me on it when you were showing that to me. I might want to get the cards there instead of the dice, you know. And Basement Box was come. It should be. Is it really? It should. Is it really? Is Kokomo? Well, you know, again, if it's fictional, right? Fictional, Kokomo could be anywhere. Maybe it's a different Kokomo. But I think you're right. The actual Kokomo you're thinking of is K's. I think you're exactly right. I think you're spot on with that one. And anybody else here? Okay, so some road says they are indeed apricots. So these will be an Appa thing here, okay? And D Smith comes by. Good to see you. Good to see you. And Mark says, Ron and I played Action PC Baseball today head to. So you could play Action PC Baseball head to head, right, over the computer. I think we tried one time like many years ago, like 7 or 8 years ago. We couldn't get it to work. And the launch of the box scores from the basement YouTube channel, that should be fun. I'm gonna be looking forward to that one. And don't believe my soccer promises. I know. It's. You never know. You never know. You never know. And yeah, my friend was Indiana. My friend was born in Kokomo, though, that we grew up with as a kid there. He's like, I was from Kokomo. We used to make fun of him. Kokomo. All right, so let's see what we got here. Okay. So if I'm guessing here, you can see like the 3 different shades of colors here. I guess that I got 3 teams there and 3 teams here to make my 6 teams. So let me see if I can split this here. Okay, so I got the Clippers. And then I have the Lookouts. And then I have the Mustard. The Mustard is pretty cool here. Okay. Yeah, the Beach Boys did like that place as well. Okay, so then on this side here, I have the Style. Alrighty. And then I have the Pulp. And then I have the Edge. So these are my 6 teams here as we look back here. So I have, again, the Mustard, the Style, the Edge. Let me get those all on the camera here. Let me back out a little bit and see if I can get them on the camera here. Let me come around with that one here. A little bit less of a glare. All right, so now we have them all on the table here. And then again, we get the Edge, the Clippers, the Langhorne Lookouts. You know what it was? There was a team called the Lookouts. They were the Chattanooga Lookouts back in the day, and the Pawnee Pulp. So I got the Pulp here. Okay, so what is this? Some roads. Help me out with this. What am I looking at here? What am I looking at here? So I have 6 teams here. So let's take a look at let's take a look at the Pulp first. Let me just slide all these teams out of here, and this is in the center here. So let's take a look at the Pulp and see what's going on with the Pulp, shall we? Okay. So there's the Pulp. Let me see if I can crank up the light a little bit in the background over here. All right, so we have Jose Reyes, Brandon Marsh, Manny Ramirez, Dustin Hermanson, Sammy Stewart, Mario Soto, Fernando Valenzuela. Oh, and it's kind of neat that he's got the shirts on. This is something here. Always pulp. So some roads. What am I looking at here? What am I looking at here? Okay, so this is a set called Here Today, Gone Tomorrow. Now he's now did he put all the players in these shirts like a Photoshop type of thing? Tug McGraw playing for the Pulp. Matt Strom. So yeah, look at all the hair on here. Okay, Steve Rogers, Bob Dernier, and the Pawnee Pulp Cole Tucker. This is great. Johnny Briggs, Freddie Glavin. Yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of hair on here. A lot of hair. Oh, Wade Boggs is on here too. He's got a little bit of the mullet going on there, right? Got a little bit of the mullet going on. Vladimir Guerrero, Mike Napoli, Ted Simmons. I think I've told this story about Ted Simmons. There was a card I had from Ted Simmons as a kid. I probably still have because I have my baseball cards. And just the angle of his baseball card with the expression on his face and the sun, he just looked horrible. And we used to make fun of it as a kid. It was like the worst baseball card ever. Just, I don't know what it was, but like he looks perfectly fine here. But the baseball card I had as a kid of Ted, and I remember Ted Simmons, I think it was Ted Simmons, it was so bad. We have Josh Naylor, Keith Hernandez, Don Mattingly's on here as well. So that is the Pulp. That is a Pulp. Yeah, Chris went all out on this, and Chris is a magician. So what is the so some roads? So you know a lot about this here. This is one I think he created for you. So what is this here? So it's the Here Today, Gone Tomorrow, and how were the teams divided up? Was there any rhyme or reason to the teams as you put them on the teams? So I'm kind of wondering like how all that went. So again, that's the Pulp. So we're going to put the Pulp over here. And look at the little logo that he did there. That's really cool. That's really cool here. I love seeing that logo. So these are just basically APA cards here for this game. But that is great. So that is the Pulp. Let's take a look at the Edge now. And so we have Francisco Lindor. Now, like I say, it looks like there's some new guys and there's some old guys here, right? Not meaning like, 70s, 80s here. So I didn't know how this was divided up. Did you pick the teams here to set this up, or was this something that was randomly generated? It's kind of interesting to know more about this set here. So Bryce Harper, I've heard of him. Yeah. Erie. So look at how the different colors they have here for Erie. So Erie's a three color team, This is a custom set that was sent to me by Chris White. It is APA. As you can see, it's got all the APA stuff on here. So it's an APA game, but it's 6. I wouldn't. They're fictional. Again, we're going to have that discussion, aren't we? Fictional. It's fictional because it's fictional teams, but it's not fictional players. And again, we had that fictional discussion at one time. And it was just like, what is fictional, what is not? And that was a fun show, by the way. I really enjoyed that fictional discussion show. So it's fictional teams, but not fictional players. So that's what it is there. Jim Rice. I didn't see that. So that is Jim Rice. Good. I'll get Jimmy Rice on there. And then we have Joba Chamberlain. Look at his Edge jersey. Look at all the different Edge jerseys here. Paul, I don't know Paul. Frank Viola. I know Frank Viola. Joaquin Andujar. Brian Wilson's here. Jeff Simmer, I don't care. Don Stanhouse. That looks like a hockey card. Tyler Glasnow. Peter Crow Armstrong. I don't know him. Harold Baines. That's a good 70s, 80s baseball card right there. Reggie Smith's on here. Jason Worth. Hanley Ramirez. Larry Boa. I didn't know Larry Boa had the hair thing happening. Jose Ramirez. Bo Diaz, Gary Carter with an Edge jersey. This is kind of fun. This is the fun stuff that you can do with this hobby here. Dimitri Young. Pete Rose. I got to take a look at his card. And then we have Yuri Gurriel. Let's take a look at the Pete Rose card here. So we got some zeros. And we got some ones on here. That should be a fun card here. Pete Rose should be a fun card. So that's a look at the Edge here. So let's see here. So yes, this is kind of neat. It's the Here Today, Gone Tomorrow set. And this is created by Some Roads, I believe. Not so much rhyme or reason, just lots of wild hair was the main criteria. A mix of young and old. I picked the teams and the team names. Fantastic. Yeah, these are kind of neat, Gus, right? This is something very, very different. Completely out of the blue, but being Apple, one of my favorite baseball games, this is something I could have some fun with, really. The only thing you might have to do, Some Roads, you might have to send me what you were using for a batting order, because I don't know some of these other guys here. So if you any help you could give me for a potential starting lineup and batting order and pitchers and stuff like that you have for the 16s, let me know, and I'll play some games here, and that'll just help me set up and get going. Let's may have my cream soda here. We just went out with some friends. So I haven't seen these guys since like way before Christmas. We try to get together 2 or 3 times a year, and they're like, "Let's get together Sunday." It's like, "Well, I got a playoff game Sunday, and if it goes into like double overtime, I'm gonna miss dinner." So I was holding my breath in the third period when it was close, but no overtime was needed today. So yeah, definitely help me out with this here. And Michael comes by the Big Red Machine. I'm a resident Erie, home of the Erie Seawolves, Detroit Tiger Farm team. I don't remember them. I didn't do much double A stuff. I did some triple A stuff. Yeah, kind of like a draft league with some mods. Yeah. And Chris had the idea to add some team unis as they came out. So, and they came out so cool. Yep. Oh yeah, look at the hair. There's some hair here, right? There's some hair. And oh yeah, that's a good question here. What stats were used for the players? Was it a full career card, a specific season? I don't know. So let's ask Some Roads here. Yeah, I did see an Oscar Gamble in here. I did. And I'll get to that one second. Yes, okay. You can help me out with the batting order. And Gamble is in here. And yeah, how did you come out with the stats for these guys? Again, so if we look at Eddie Murphy, he's got stats in the back of the card. Looks like he's got his full stats on here. So this is kind of was this a overall cumulative batting card for him, or was it his best season, a specific season? Oh, sorry about that. So let's take a look here. So Eddie Murray and Dave Kingman, King Kong Kingman. I love Dave Kingman. And let me see if I can just kind of back off on some of the glare a little bit. George Foster. I always love George Foster. I know he used the Reds that beat the Red Sox, but I love George Foster. Okay, so it was stats based on their best years. Okay. Dave Winfield, Manitoba Mustard. That's great. Gary Templeton. Now these are some of the guys that I know. I like to play. It was their okay, so it's their best year. Okay, so it's the best of the best here. Fernando Tatis, I don't know him. He must be a newer guy. Oh, the Penguin, Ron Say. Ron Say is going to be up there in Manitoba playing. Let me kill this here. Maybe that light's doing too much reflecting. How's that? Any better? Maybe yeah, that's a little bit better. There we go. Kill the reflection. Dick Allen, Bobby Critch in the man. I don't know how they do this Photoshop stuff. That's pretty good. Wally Backman, Tony Pena's on here. Tony Pena's pretty good. Tim Blackwell, Kirk Gibson playing up with Manitoba. This next guy you're gonna know, Johnny Damon. He had the hair flowing back in the day. He really did. He had the hair flowing. Then we had Ed Figueroa. Know him? Oh, the Goose. Goose Gossage here. John Candelaria. Got some hair happening here. Pete Vukovich. Wasn't he the guy? Was he the guy in Major League? Was he the guy in Major League? I think he was. And he's a pitcher, right? Grade B pitcher. Yeah, I think he was the guy that played in Major League. And he was hitting in Major League. Oh, man, you can't have hair without Raleigh Fingers, right? Raleigh Fingers. Then you got Dennis Leonard. And so he was bats left, throws left. Yeah, okay. Grade B pitcher. John Lowenstein. There's some hair right there. Gotta love it. Gotta love the hair. Bruce Sutter. He's a little fuzzy. Little fuzzy. And this guy here, I don't know him too much, but I remember seeing him. Yeah, he was gorgeous. He should have been a wrestler with that hair. So we take a look at the mustard. We've taken a look. Have we looked at the edge yet? Yeah, I think we did look at the edge already, right? We had Pete Rose. We looked at his card and Yuri. Oh, that's some hair right there. And then we took a look at the pulp. So we've looked at 3 teams already. So we're going to continue on, and we're going to take a look at the style, and it's the Stansville style. I'm not even sure where Stansville is, but they have a fictional team right there. And Vuk was in Major League. Okay, yeah, Clu Haywood was Pete Vucevic. Okay. And once throwing his own kid at a father-son game. Was that the guy? As Keith Linsky comes by, good to see you, Keith. Yeah, we're just having some fun. This arrived in the mail yesterday, and this is the first time I haven't been at the rink in I don't know, over a week that I can kind of unbox something here. But let's see, George Scott, the Boomer. I always liked the Boomer. He was great. Dale Berra. I'm not familiar with Dale Berra. Doug DeCinces. Yeah, that was a good one as well. Doug DeCinces, second base. Okay, so he's a shortstop. And John Kruk. I'm not familiar with John Kruk. He must be a newer guy. Ozzie Smith is playing with the style. Yes, he's got some style here. So we'll take a look at Ozzie Smith. Johnny Cueto. I liked him when he played for the Reds. I was actually following the Reds a little bit. I think I got the MLB package that year to follow the Reds, Okay, so Stansville, much like Kokomo, can be wherever you imagine. Okay, so it's not so much actual place. Okay. Dufferman, this is a custom set of APA cards with 6 fictional teams, and it's based on hair. So a lot of these guys are going to have some hair or had some hair. And it is basically an APA game here with their best year here on the cards, I don't remember John Kruk. I don't. Like I said, I'm not a big baseball guy. There's only a handful of guys that I remember. Doug Drabeck, I know. Sparky Lyle, of course. Dan Quisenberry. I didn't realize he was a sidearm pitcher. Like a Kent DeCulve type of guy. Not a lot of hair here, but he's got the mustache happening. Got thrown out by Randy Johnson in the All-Star game. I did not know that. Color guy for baseball. Yep. Did Dave Little come by? Oh, Dave Little said, by the way, tomorrow night, I am scheduled to record a show with Dave Little. And as we usually do, if Dave can stick around, we do a live post-game show after we record the podcast. And we're going to be talking to Dave about what got him into playing hockey in his recent hockey project that he finished up. And so basically we're going to talk about playing an unfamiliar sport, and I'm going to talk to him about me playing basketball. So it's going to be the hockey guy playing basketball, the basketball guy playing hockey, and I think it should make for a fun conversation. So that should be tomorrow night if all goes well, unless we get another foot of snow, which you never know. But today it was 60 degrees, so a lot of the snow melted. That was great. I can actually see the grass in my backyard in spots for the first time in months. I still got a good foot and a half of snow out there on the rest of it. Let's continue on. Jack Morris, Stansville style. Doc Ellis. Oh, look at those. Yeah, he's like, ooh. He looks like he's posing for an Instagram photo right there, right? Yeah, I think we all tried to pitch like Quisenberry and DeCulve as a kid. I know I tried that. It's like trying to sidearm underneath and didn't do a very good job with it. It was very awkward, but And Shane comes by. Good to see you, Shane. And also, I forgot to say hi to Keith. But just kind of having some fun here. There's a Stanville in Kentucky, says Donut. So we will have to check that out. Yeah, I don't know. He's not looking too good in this photo here. And Gus says he enjoyed the show with Rod. Wasn't that a good show? Wasn't Rod awesome? Rod was awesome. I loved talking to him. We talked so long before and so long after. We just kept talking about stuff. I really do like talking with Rod, and he's got me excited to play basketball too. I'm looking at the crunch time, like you said, in a couple other games as well. I want to get what's that bank shot back on the table, and excited to see the St. Patrick basketball game as well. Really excited to see that. So now we have Tim Lincom. I don't know this guy. He's a newer guy, so I just don't know him that well. Oh, get the Eck Dennis Eckersley here. And Lenny Dykstra. Andre Dawson. Oh, that's some good hair over here. Dawson. Got a little bit of hair. Jose Cruz. Not so much on the hair here. Tim Raines got some lettuce going. Gary Maddox. Gary Matthews. Mike Schmidt. Not too bad. A little bit of loose in the back. Bill Madlock. Boy, it looks like a high school photo, right, with that backdrop there. That's what we had for a high school backdrop. Ray, is it Foss or Fossey? I'm not too fussy if it's Fossey or Foss. And Darren Dalton. Oh, looks like the guy from Major League. Looks like that guy there. I forget his name now, but yeah. So that's a look at the style. So there's 4 sets of cards right there. And Ray said he used to play baseball with a tennis ball, and they pull out a baseball card, and you'd have to pitch or bat like that. That kind of interesting though. That's kind of neat. Now, what if it's a lefty pitcher? Do you have to pitch lefty? All right. What happens if it's a lefty? And you try to throw it with the offhand if you're indeed a right-handed thrower. How crazy did you get? All right. And let's see here. Gus also says, I mentioned you two were on so long at a basketball game going to OT and almost last as long as the podcast after the pod. Yeah, we just kept chatting. We had a good time. You had a good time. Oh, wow. Yes, Ray says you had to pitch left-handed. I don't even know if I could get it over the plate left-handed. I am that uncoordinated with the left hand. Although I played darts one time. I was throwing so bad, I took my left hand and said, the hell with it. And I chucked it with the left hand and I bullseyed it with the left hand. And it's just like, wow, that was pretty bad. Yes, I'm waiting on Bake McBride as well. We'll see if he's in the set here. We're going to continue on. So we have the lookouts here. So we have UL Washington, Davey Lopes. And look at this guy here, Ellie De La Cruz. I think I've heard of him. Right? And he does. Okay, Jake Taylor, yeah. And who was the guy that played Jake Taylor? Oh, man, I can't remember the name of the guy that played Jake Taylor in the movie there. Thurman Munson. There's you go, Sports Time Machine. That one's for you. Thurman Munson right there. He's a current Red, and he's awesome. Okay. I will take your word for that one because I don't know current baseball. But there's Thurman. Tom Berenger. Yes, okay, Tom Berenger. Thank you so much. Bob Horner. Okay. Ken Community. Don't know Ken. Stormin Gorman. Yeah, he's got the fro going here. The flow. He's got some flow. Phil Garner. Yeah, a little bit of flow going there on him. A lot of lookouts. And Lance Parrish. That must be a retro lookouts jersey, right? Is that retro? Yeah. I'm not sure what the gimmick is for the lookouts. There's a Chattanooga lookouts. There was a team like that. Shane asked, are these cards for a gain? Yes, they are for playing APBA. Okay, it's a hair set. And again, I think Some Roads designed it and Chris White printed it out. And Chris sent me a copy of this set. There's 6 teams here. And it's about facial hair and all kinds of hair, Cisco man. Yeah, it's all about hair. So, but you play APBA with this stuff here, is what it is. So we have Willie Aikens over here as well. Mitch Williams. Oh, that's a mullet right there, and he's got the little chin scruff going on. Framber Valdez. Don't know Framber. Jacob DeGrom. I've heard of him. Louis Tion. Yeah, he had the big Fu Manchu going, right? I don't know what you call that, but he had that cranking. Don Sutton. A little bit of lettuce going on. Oh, he's got the bird in here. And there's a lookout post in the logo. Oh, there it is right there, the Langhorne Lookouts. That's kind of neat. And we got the bird. Oscar Gamble, the king of hair. Yes. Did we have Oscar Gamble? Did I go by him? I don't know if I have it. It's going to be a hairy situation here. It is. Rod Beck. And Al Bumbry. looking pretty smooth. Al Hrabosky. He's a pitcher, right? And he is a left-handed pitcher. Yep, he is. Is that really his hair? Is that Coco Crisp? I know he played with the Red Sox. I do not remember Coco Crisp with hair like that. I do not know. He could be the winner. He could be the winner. Here we go. Now there's the winner. Sorry. There's the winner. I need to get a drink here. We're going to leave that up there. This was close, though. Coco Crisp was close. But Oscar Gamble, yes, Oscar Gamble is our winner. We have our winner. So we don't even need anything else. That's our winner right there. Just have to play the wrestling bell. And the bird is the word, said Donut. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Bird is the word. But yes, there's our winners right there. And that it's a lot. I'd like to borrow some of that hair myself. Holy cow. And there he is. Yep. Yep. I always wondered that too, Blaine. How did you get that in a helmet? Like if you went up to bat and you had to stuff it in there, like you couldn't get it in the helmet. I mean, maybe you wetted it down or something. If like it reminds me of that the movie there, was it the Naked Gun with OJ? Remember OJ Simpson when he had the big afro and he couldn't get through the door? Where's OJ? Oh, there he is. He couldn't get through the door, the afro. Oh man, that was the best. Yeah. Oh, and when they took the helmet off, I was like, did the hair come out? Oh, good times. Good times. 70s and 80s were good times. And Shane says, Dynamite. Right? Oh, looks like Troy Polamalu almost, right? Bake McBride. There's another good one. Yeah, Bake McBride is another good one. So he's on the lookout. So look out so far, the hair winners here. Charlie Blackmon, I'm not too sure about. I don't know him too much. But anyway, so that is that. So we take a look at 5 teams already. And wasn't DeGrom Noah Syndergaard? I don't know. I don't know. It might look like 2 very large earmuffs. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it would be, right? It was before ear flaps were mandatory. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that might be a reason why too. All right, so let's take a look at the Clippers. And let's see here. So we have the that's Dustin May. And now where are the Clippers from? So these are the Kokomo Clippers. And again, Kokomo could be anywhere, right? It could be the Kokomo Clippers from anywhere. So we have Dustin May, I don't really know. Pascal Perez. He's got a lot of chains on here. It kind of reminds me of Willie Mays Hayes, you know what I mean? Josh Hader. So 3 guys here I don't know. Catfish Hunter, obviously you know. So he's on the Clippers here. So Catfish Hunter's on the Clippers. And Pedro's going to make an appearance here. We might have him as the starter for the Clippers. Oh, Randy Johnson. There he is. Grade A. What is Pedro? Grade A and C. X, Y, and Z. X and a Z. Pedro's going to be fun. I need to play more Pedro. I really wanted to get was Pedro on the Red Sox in 95? That's one season I wanted to get. And I think I told that story a couple times on the show. That in 95 I played on a hockey team. We had a couple of really big Red Sox guys, and so we would, after hockey, we would go in and grab a beer and watch the Red Sox. So I got to know everybody on the Red Sox in 95. I don't know if Pedro was with him. Pedro was more of a 2000s guy, right? He was in 95. I do have the 2004 World Series, though, so I might do that. Hal McRae's on here. It is down in Kokomo, but Kokomo is your own personal paradise. So it's really not sure what it is. So let's go. Andrew McCutcheon. I know him, right? He was with Pittsburgh. I don't know where he is now. Usually you start off at Pittsburgh, you get good, and then you go to New York, right? Dave Parker comes on here. I always like Dave Parker. Pedro's on the so I might have to get that set then in 95 and get it. I think I have it. Oh, I have it in season ticket. I know I have it in season, so I might have to print out some some guys in season ticket baseball so I can play some 95. Oh, there it is. This is my favorite guy, Reggie Jackson. So I'm gonna be a Kokomo Clippers fan here because we have Reggie Jackson. You gotta love Reggie. He was unbelievable in basketball. Remember that movie there? Yeah. So I get Reggie here. The hair thing's not as big as it was with the Lookouts and the Style? They had some really good hair going here. Juan Gonzalez. Oh, Jose. No way, Jose. That's the other reason I wanted to get 95 because I think he was with Boston. I think he was with Boston. Is it 94 or 95? He was with Boston. And it'd just be fun to play some of those teams. It really would be. He went to Texas. Okay, so Christopher jumps in and him and Donut say Kutcher just signed with the Texas Rangers after spending the last couple of years back with Pittsburgh. I know he was with Pittsburgh and he was really good. And Pittsburgh wasn't too bad for a while there. But then, much like some of the other guys, they just get good and they go to New York, AP comes by. Good to see you, AP. All right, let's continue on here. So we have Cecil Fielder. Not much hair going on here, but I bet at one point he did. Robin Yount. I like Robin Yount. I like all the Brewers, actually. O'Neill Cruz. He must be a newer guy. He has newer hair. Like, it doesn't look like 70s or 80s hair. Sal Bando comes on. He's got the nice looking stash there. He's got a couple of caterpillars there. Looking pretty good. Joe Morgan. Not seeing a lot of hair on Joe, but I mean, Joe can play on my team anytime. Rick Cerrone. He's on here. And now we have Austin Wells. I don't know Austin Wells. Rod Carew. Oh, he's got the Richard Simmons bandana going here, right? Rod Carew. That's something else. And then we have Justin Turner. That's new hair. Again, that's not 70s hair. That's more newer hair. Ross Grimsley. Sounds familiar. He's a grade B pitcher. Lefty. And he'll be playing with Kokomo this year. Andrew Chaffin. Now that's some hair. That's some hair. This almost looks like a Instagram girl hair without the mustache. Well, maybe this year. Maybe now they do have mustaches. Who knows? But that is that. So let's take a look at our teams one more time. Let me kind of zoom out here and we'll get everybody on the screen. So we have got, and I don't know how many guys. I'll count it out real quick. So these are the teams that we got. Okay. So those are the 6 teams. And here are the things here. So we have the Pawnee Pulp. We have the Langhorne Lookouts, the Kokomo Clippers, the Erie Edge, Stansville Style, and the Manitoba Mustard. So those are my 6 teams in the set. And yes, they are a Chris White custom job designed by Some Rhodes, who's in the chat here. He designed it, and it's based on hair and facial hair. And interest, it's been fun. It's been fun going through these. I can't wait to play. I can't wait to play some of these guys because it's like old versus new. And again, this is basically to play APBA. And you guys know I really like playing APBA baseball, so that could be kind of fun. And so yes, they are from Chris White at VSU Sports, and this was a fun set. This is a fun set. 23. Okay, so there's 23 cards. How many pitchers do I get? Is it 6, 7, or 8 pitchers and 15 players? And yeah, this has been fun. This has been a lot of fun checking this out here. So what I'm going to do is, because I have the envelopes here, is let's put them in the envelopes, right? So here we go. So the mustard, the Manitoba Mustard. So we have a Canadian team here as well. And so now we have the style. So I'm going to put, again, I love these envelopes here. They're so, I just got a nice retro feel to them. They really do. They remind me of the old tobacco cards that I saw as a kid. And yes, thank you so much for this, by the way, Some Rhodes. And thank you so much to Chris White for making them and sending me a set. And we're going to have some fun with this. I know we are, basically with the Yappa Basic. I'm gonna have some fun with that. And so there's 8 pitchers in the set. Okay, that's pretty good. And again, there's a lot of my favorite guys, and maybe what I'll do instead of worrying about batting orders and stuff, I'll just go through the teams and take my favorite guys and put them at a certain position. Because if this is kind of like the best of, then there's really no need for me to worry about batting orders if it's kind of like the best of here. So that should be fun. And Mark says, does he have other sets based on other factors? That I don't know. That I don't know. Again, this is kind of like just a custom made set that Some Roads designed or suggested and sent it over to Chris, and Chris made it for him. So I don't know what other sets. Chris can make you anything over there at VSU. And yes, Chris has a ton of sets. Nothing like this though, with custom uniforms. So he went like way out on this one here, way out. And I'm sorry that Canada's joking again. Maybe the mustard can make up for it here. So I will have to play some of the Manitoba mustard here and try to make it all better for you. So then we have the Kokomo Clippers. Put that in the envelope here. And again, I'm real tempted to get one of those football sets. I really am. He sent me the decade set. I need to get that on the table here. I really enjoyed unboxing that decade set. So now we have the lookouts here. And Chris says Cruz every game is incredibly lazy. I don't know, because I haven't watched it. And then have the pulp here. One of the first cards I opened up. Tug McGraw, Mario Soto. So that is that. So fun. I get some more APRA play soon. As soon as I wrap up the playoffs, which is going to be another couple of weeks. Let me just come back over here. Playoffs will be going on for a couple of more weeks, and then hopefully I'll be back to normal. And I don't know if I'm going back to Monday nights or not. If I don't go to Monday nights, that'll be another gaming night, and I can maybe get some of these projects going. Does Chris have a website? No. He everything is done through email, or if you're on Facebook, if you have Facebook, Pickled Shane, if you have Facebook, his group is I think it's custom envelopes. Let me double check that. It's I'll see if I can get you his email too. I should have it, and I do have it, but let me go to the custom envelopes here. Custom envelopes. Okay, so it's APA custom cards and envelope. Let me see if I can just copy this and put this in the chat. Can I add this to the chat? I might be able to. So this is where you want to go. If you go to Facebook, that's what you want. APA custom cards, envelopes, and VSU sports games. Okay. That's what you want to do. He will and he'll take care of you there. Now, if I can get the email, I don't know if he put his email on here, but there's an email that he'll send you the catalog, and just whatever you want to do. It's unbelievable. Like right now, he's got the World Baseball Classic, all 20 teams, $169 or $10 for individual teams. So if you want to play the World Baseball Classic, he can do that. He's got everything. He's got he even posted the I didn't see this here. He posted the set that he's just sent me, the Hair League. And so that's been updated on his Facebook page. So I need to take a look at that. But yeah, Chris does some great stuff. Again, he'll send you out the if you don't have Facebook, let me know, and I'll try to dig out his email. Maybe I can do that right now. Just go to the. I talk to him all the time on Facebook Messenger, and I usually send him a bunch of work for my envelopes. But sometimes he sends me the catalog, and I always say, "Hey, what's your email?" I always forget that. No, let me look it up on where he sent it to me. VSU Sports. There it is. copy that? Can I copy that and paste that? Okay, you found the Facebook page. Okay, yeah, that's the best place to go. And this is where you can email him, vsusports23@gmail.com. Okay. Um, so let me put that up again. So that's where you want to go. Okay. And send him a message and just say, hey, look, I'm interested in your latest catalog and some of the things you can do for me. Tell me, I was watching, Dave unbox the hair cards that he created. And he does all my envelopes. So, like behind me over here on my right side, all those envelopes, those are all custom envelopes that he does for me. So, anytime I get an APA season, or sometimes he'll do some other ones for me, but it's mostly APA hockey, football, baseball. They come with the generic envelopes, but what I do is he'll print out the ones with the logos for me and whatever, and so I have a good time with that. And yeah, the catalog's pretty amazing. If you like the APA stuff, baseball and the football, he does some other things too, but it's heavily APA based. He has his own sports too, and I played some here on the channel. The basketball game's great. VSU basketball is super fun. If you like rolling dice, VSU basketball is where to go because when you play these teams, you'll end up rolling, 15, 20, 25 dice and add them up to get the score. It's super fun if you like rolling dice. He's got a hockey game too, but I like the basketball game better. I really do. And yes, Roger comes by and says, yes, Chris hosts APA baseball tournament in Las Vegas this summer. And this year is in June, the 22nd to 24th. I almost went out to one of those, but it's tough for me to travel, especially with all the crazy work that I do. And Mike comes by. Mike, I was watching your channel the other day. I was watching you play something on the channel. I don't remember if I commented or not because I had it on while I was in bed and I think I fell asleep. That's what I like to do. I like to put on people in the community that play games, and it's like listen to AM radio. But I was watching your channel the other day. I enjoyed some of your stuff there. And yeah, now this set here that he did was like it was crazy. Let me see. Do I have the where's the decade set? Yeah. Hang on 1 second. Let me get the decade set. Let me show you that. Okay, so let me show you some of the other things that he does. Okay, and yeah, no, I enjoyed it, Mike. I went by and checked it out, and all I've been doing is working and sleeping. So when I'm in bed, like if I can't sleep, I go on YouTube and I scroll around. I see people play things, and I enjoy it very much. So yeah, so nice job with that. Uh so let me go overhead here. So let me show you a couple other things he does. So this was the World Series set, and he sent me this, and I got all four teams. So I have so these are the four finalists here. Oh, sorry about that. We got some glare here, but we got the Brewers, Mariners, Dodgers, and Blue Jays. So this was the finalists, is it the World Series? Yeah, okay, Dave, World Series. And so this is what he does for his custom cards. Is he's got the front of the cards all done up like this, and then the back of the cards are the APA style. Is what he does. And so I'll be able to play the World Series. I'll even be able to play the semifinals, if you will. But I wanted to play the World Series. Like I said, I haven't played anything recently because of my schedule. But yeah, so he creates all this stuff, which is great. And you see, he's got the you can see the sorry, a little glare here, but he's got the master symbols on here, so that's kind of fun. And the other set that he sent me, that once I get it settled down, I can try to play. Get these back in the envelope here. I should just put these in a custom envelope, shouldn't I? And again, I like how he's got the team cards here. I love that. He does all that stuff for my football. But this is the envelopes that he does. So this is the all decade set that he made. This is again 70 to 79. So this is one that I did a while ago. Let's take a look at the Expos, shall we? All right, let's take a look at the Expos. This is the 70-79 set here, and he sent me this a little while ago, and you can see that on the back, he's got the logo here on the back for every card. So it's full color. It is just And I think he'll make you any team you want to. So if you have a favorite team, if you don't want to buy the whole set, or sometimes like I'll have a set and I'll have my favorite team, and he'll make you like your favorite team, and then so that's the one you can use when you're playing, rather than stock set. But and that way there you won't have to buy the whole team if you just want to buy one team at a time. So he's pretty flexible about things. He makes my envelopes. So what I do is I take the Apple envelopes and I get rid of them and I just put them in my new ones that he makes, and I really like them. And yes, if you're an Apple player, yes, they're fantastic. They really, really are. So let's take a look at the Decades team. And I've gone through the set before, so if you want to see the unboxing and all the players, you can flip around my channel and go find that. But we'll tune in here. So Chris, is that Spear Aspire, Rusty Staub, Del Unser, Rudy May, Tony Perez, Lance Parrish, Singleton, the Stone Man, Hunt, Steve Renko. I always do that. Every time there's a guy with an R name, it's like a Renfield. Renko. Lee Davis. How do you do's? Tim Foley. Cromartie. Jones. Cash. Bailey. Marshall. Fairley. Murray. Foot. That's Steve Rogers there. Mike Jorgensen. Andre Dawson. Ellis Valentine. Ross Grimley. Gary Carter. Chuck Taylor. Bittner. And Sosa. So that's what he's got here that's kind of neat with the all decades. And this is, again, 70 to 79. And he even did the Expos in the Mariners, even though they started in 77. You still get Expos and Mariners if you want to play. I imagine they're not quite as good as the other teams. But it is kind of fun, when you pick your favorite team and you go through the decade set to see who we put in there. And it's just kind of neat. It's just kind of neat that like let me grab the Red Sox. Let me do that. Hang on one second. I want to show you the Red Sox. Because I know the Red Sox better than I know any other team here, obviously. So where's the Red Sox? Okay, so let me take a look at the Red Sox here. I got to squeeze them in. So this is the all decades Red Sox team, and Chris, is this you? Is this the Chris White that made these fantastic cards we unboxed tonight? Is that you, Chris? Yeah, so there's again, this was the set we showed off tonight, the 6 teams from the Hair League. That was the part of the unboxing we did tonight. And you got the catalog already? Oh yeah. You'll be sitting, you're gonna go through that, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's like the Sears catalog. I want this and I want this. It is so good. Yeah. So again, I posted his email there to get a hold of him, and also the Facebook group. But yeah, it's good stuff. I'm still, like I say, it depends how when my checks are. I'm gonna eventually pull the trigger on either a WFL season or USFL season. I do want to get one of those and play some of those games. I do want to do that. All right, so here's the Red Sox, and again, this is the 70-79 set, and it's just kind of a best of thing that he put together. And you can order these right now from that's in his catalog, so you can get that. I suppose if you wanted the hair set, talk to him about it. It was a custom job, so he has them probably ready to go. Might have to check with Some Roads to see if he's okay with selling a custom set. I know, just work it out with those guys here. And yes, I was talking about the quick play games. The basketball game is the best, and the bowling game is fun too. I have the bowling game. The bowling game's great, and the basketball game's great. Those are the two you got to check out. And he's got football too. It's a quick play football game, and that's kind of neat too. But I do like I think he was selling those in a book in the decade, his football game. And it's just kind of like offense, defense, and roll the dice. The basketball game's great too. I like rolling dice like I do with baseline basketball and the VSU basketball. I really enjoy them. All right, so let's take a look at the Red Sox here. I missed the Sears book too. You never got it all, but I mean, you got some of it, right? Every now and then you look, oh, got what I wanted. That was so cool. That was a good time. And Some Roads, I hope everyone grabs that all here. So you might have to put that in the catalog. Did he put? I saw he just posted it on Facebook there, or at least the other day. He had it up on Facebook, so I'm going to go back and click on it and look through it again. But he should put that in the book, and then link this video here if you want, Chris. If you want to link the video here to the unboxing, that would be kind of fun too if you want to have people see what it was. But anyway, so let's take a look at the Red Sox here. And this is kind of fun. Like I say, I haven't had a chance to play anything in a few weeks, except for sneaking in some fast drive football. But I think it's going to be fun to try this out here. So you got Petrocelli, you got Rice. I didn't realize Sparky Lyle, but check this out though. What I liked about this is that he puts the date, right? The date. So this is the year that you're getting. So you're getting 71 Petrocelli, 79 Rice, 71 Sparky Lyle. I didn't realize Sparky Lyle played with the Red Sox. I really didn't know that. Yes, everything he does is really, really nice. Really nice. Like I said, I got my my Toronto 25 set here, and I will have them play the Dodgers. Again, it's APA baseball, and I really like APA baseball. So we have 78 Eckersley, 73 Reggie Smith, and he is an outfielder. Okay, so I didn't, like I said, 73 is a little bit before I started following the team. Bill Campbell, awesome, 77 Campbell. We have 77 Tiant. Okay. We have 75 Bernie Carbo, 79 Dick Drago, 75 Cecil Cooper, Dewey Evans, love Dewey Evans, 79. Dewey Evans, if I could just go off on a tangent for a second here. The thing about Dewey Evans is fun is when I play APA Master, right? When I pull out and I dig out APA and I play the Master game, which I haven't played in a while, but I really like it. But I'm still learning it. His arm, okay, is a 38. That is nuts. Because basically you're taking away 38 chances of whatever the speed is of the runner, and then where the ball is hit, you're subtracting 38. And that usually gives you, around 10. And so you don't really run on Dwight Evans. So that's what it is. And yes, they're fantastic card. Hopefully your set comes tomorrow. What set is that, Some Roads? What set are you getting there? Where are these teams located for sale? They are, you want to email Chris, okay? And this is his email, and ask for the catalog. And he's got decade sets. He's got the hair set. He's got custom teams. He's got Japanese teams. It's loaded. It is loaded. Okay, his set is loaded. It's just tons of stuff. So that's what you want to email. Email Chris. He's in the chat right now, or at least he was. And see what's in there. It's the Sears catalog of APA games. It really is. And he does. Let me do this here while we're doing show and tell. All right, and you guys have seen these before, okay? So when I get an APA football season, right? I like to have the logos on the table, right? So let me just slide Red Sox out of the way. So I have them create these. And so when I get an APA football set, or even if I don't, if I'm playing a game, like if I'm playing season ticket football, or if I'm playing second season, or any football game that I got, I like to have these on the table with me. And he creates these, and they're two-sided, and it's got the league and their record. So he prints all these up there. The team cards, they're not that expensive. And so anytime I get a set, so I got to have him make some 83 for me because I bought the 83 set. It hasn't arrived yet from Kenny, but that should come out this week. So I need to order that. So if all my football gets these, I have him make the team cards for me so I can put them on the table. And that way, no matter what game I play, even if it's not even APRA, I can have them on the table. So I like to have him make those for me. The envelopes, as I showed you, are fantastic that he makes, and he can make any team in any season you want. So I have him do do I have Chris, do you do football? Yes, he does football, baseball, and hockey for me. And I think I have every single season of APA that I own. In fact, and I have a lot of them over the last many years I've been playing. I have them do them all. So as they come in from APA, I say, Chris, I need team cards in envelopes for this, or just envelopes. But yes, get a hold of Chris. He does fantastic, fantastic work. And so that's where that's where you get the stuff here. And okay, yeah. So just send him a message there. And you got the Arena League too. How would you play the Arena League though? It is so different. You'd have to. Are there some modified rules for that? Because you can't just play straight up APFL football with Arena League, right? And if there are modified rules, do you throw them in with a set so people can figure it out? I'm interested because I would get some arena sets too, but I don't know how I would do it. Yes, Mike, you're right. You don't run on Evans, and that's the great thing about the Master game when you're playing APA. And I know there's a tug of war with APA Master, but yes, you don't run on Evans's arm. You just don't do that. Pickled Shane says APA baseball out of stock. Oh, is it? Is the APA baseball? They're not out of stock long though. That's the thing. They're never out of stock very long. So if they're out of stock, they'll be back in a week or two tops. So keep that in mind. Because I know the Master went out of stock. Either the baseball or the football, the Master went out of stock, and then it'll come back. So that's a good thing about APA. They're always replenishing. So they'll sell out, but they'll be back. So they're not gone forever. You think so? You think Evans should be in the Hall of Fame? Maybe. He's again, his arm was great. It really was. The information on the stuff is you looking for the stuff on this, the email? I think I just posted his email. I can post it again if you want. Arena for Quick Play. Oh, okay. Arena for Quick Play. Okay. I have some Downey Arena football, and it's very weird. It's it's very different, And he says he puts the base stats on the baseball cards. You don't like that? But I kind of like that too. Yeah, it is kind of neat to look down there and say, "Hey, how'd it go? How'd he do?" And I've sold so many games for them tonight with Chris's cards that the game is out of stock. I don't think that it's the case. It doesn't make me feel good though. And Captain Carl, big Red Sox fan, says Dwight Evans hit more home runs than any of the AL batter during the 80s. Okay, well that's a reason to throw him in there. Yep, absolutely. Well, let's continue on. So Louis Parcio, again, 72 Sox, not familiar with them. Bob Watson, I kind of remember him. He was an older guy. I think or am I thinking of Bob Montgomery? I think of Bob Montgomery, I think, Tony C., 1970. The Boomer Scott, 77. Mike Andrews, second baseman. I'm not familiar with Mike Andrews. So again, a little before my time. Denny Doyle. Wasn't a Denny Doyle fan. Just wasn't a Denny Doyle fan. Just not my thing. The Bergmeyer, 79 Bergmeyer. Spaceman Billy. We got a 73 Spaceman. Somebody give Ron Juckett a call because we got Bob Stanley on the table. His ears are probably ringing, right? Sometimes he listens and sometimes he doesn't. So if he's listening, this is your guy, 78 Stanley. Stanley Steamer. And Mike thinks he belongs in there too. And I wouldn't have guessed that either. I wouldn't have guessed that. My only issue was, sometimes we get emotional. That might be a whole nother discussion for a show is talking about Hall of Fame, because sometimes we have an emotional tie to somebody that, oh man, this guy's great, should be in the Hall of Fame. But if he goes in, then there's probably 300 other guys in that same category that need to go in. And you can't put everybody in the Hall of Fame. At some point, you need to have that, he's good, but not Hall of Fame good. And I think in every sport, at least the one that I follow, there's some people in there that I think it's pushing it, having them in the Hall of Fame. And I don't mean, again, they're better than me, obviously. But there's some people's like, how is this guy in the Hall of Fame? He was pretty good, but I wouldn't consider him. Hall of Fame is the best of the best. And it's not just the really good. It's the best. And I think sometimes there's too many guys in there. And Sapita as the first DH for the Sox in '73. I didn't realize that. When did they go to the DH? I thought it was '74 they went DH. Or was it '73? Again, it was a little before me, before I started following baseball. So was it '73 they DH or was it '74? I thought for some reason I thought it was '74 they went DH. So there's Sapita, as we talked about. '79, Freddie Lynn. Sonny Siebert, again, pitcher from '71. I'm not a Sonny guy. I don't know too much about Sonny here. And then we have Butch Hobson. How do you put Butch Hobson in an all-decade set? Did they not have any third baseman? I don't know what his error rating is here. Does he have an error rating? He was tough. All I remember from Hobson is him barehanding balls and throwing them into the first base grandstand. That's all he ever did. At least that's my recollection of what he did. Oh boy, something. Okay, so it was 73 for the DH. Okay, for some reason I thought it was 74. Summerroad says Schmidt. Schmidt led the NL for the decade, much more predictable than Dewey. I'll disagree with that, Chris. Again, my recollection as a kid with Butch Hobson is him just throwing the ball away. Just that's my memories of it, if you will. And I'm not saying that that's what it was, but every time I think back, I just remember him just barehanding the ball and everybody going, well, there it goes in the first base stands. Runner get it on. Now batter takes second. That's just kind of what I thought of it all. That's what I remember. And Dave Little, what Dave Little's got to say says, I call it Hall of Holy Crap. If the opponent doesn't say holy crap, here comes Fred, then Fred doesn't belong in the hall. That could be a nice discussion at some point. We could talk about some people who are in there who are nuts. Any quick games and instant scores for your favorite tabletop games? I got a whole bunch of them. I should do a whole show on quick games. That's another good topic. I'm going to write that down. We got two topics here. We got Hall of Fame and then quick games. I think we've done quick games, but it could be time to do it again because I enjoy quick games. There's a lot of quick games. Some people don't like them. Like when I talked to Rod about basketball, he did not like quick play games. I was not surprised to hear that because he wants to get involved in the game, but I'm surprised he didn't play much of them. Lake Effects comes by. Thank you so much. So let's move on here. So we have Rick Burleson. I remember watching the Rooster. I went to a few games and saw the Rooster play. 79 Yastrzemski here for the Sox. And you can see here, so there's a 31 arm for Yastrzemski, right? 36 for Lynn. And if we come back over here to where is he? There he is. 38 for Evans. So you can see, well, what do we say? Lynn was 36. So Lynn was 36, Evans 38, Yaz 31. I thought there'd be a bigger disparage between Lynn and Evans, but anyway. And quick show about quick game. That's pretty funny. You know, I'm gonna give you a what we're gonna do. Thank you, John. Thank you for participating, John. And you and Ron were talking about all these great '60s guys we only know as extra names in the '70s. Siebert, McDonald. We just had Siebert over here. Again, I don't know some of these guys. Yeah, a quick play game would be kind of fun. Yep, it would be. And Lake Effects says, I remember plays OOT scoreboard instead of just seeing a winner, and he loved it. And we talking about it was Mike the one talking about payoff pitch? Yeah, payoff pitch is great, isn't it? And he says, and all the guys we love in the 70s who really began their brilliant career in the 60s. That's the fun part about playing some of the early 70s. And I have a couple of early 70s seasons because you get to play those guys from the 60s that carried into the 70s. That's just when I started following. So there's a lot of guys that were older that were on their way out, but you still get to play them. It's kind of neat. Hobson committed 43 errors at third base. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I remember. That's what I remember. And yeah, we enjoyed watching this stuff. And yeah, it is. Isn't the 60s? It's really interesting to explore for guys our age. You're exactly right. Because it's kind of like, even with hockey, like 50s and 60s for hockey, you had all these names that were tailing off in the early 70s when I started to follow it. And the same with baseball. It's like, I remember these guys and they were like late 30s playing one more year maybe on a different team and only played a handful of games, but it is kind of fun. It is kind of fun. Yeah. You like that? Yeah. You're a funny guy. Funny guy. And Ron comes by. Good to see you, Ron. Grew up in the 70s. We love the 60s. I grew up in the 70s. Well, I was young in the 70s, and I didn't know much about the 60s. I still will play hockey or baseball once in a while from the 60s, maybe a little bit of football. But 70s and 80s were still my best one. So we got a 79 Remy. And I don't know a Ray Culp. I know a Curly Culp that plays for the Harlem Globetrotters, but I don't know a Ray Culp. So he was a pitcher apparently in 1970. And then, of course, we have Pudge, 77 Pudge, catcher. And there's another guy I know, Jerry Moses, 1970 catcher. So there's a handful of guys here on the Red Sox that I just don't know. Doesn't mean they won't make the table. But anyway, yeah. So, again, Chris White, fantastic job doing the hair set that just came in the mail today. The most recent World Series teams. And then the all decades teams. Again, these are all for APA. And again, just in full disclosure, if I get something from him that APA sells, I still buy it from APA. So I am going to get the World Series teams from APA just to be fair. So I just want to make sure that, I just want to be fair with everything, stuff like that. So I will be doing that. And I need to get back to playing. I'm looking at my schedule. I still got another week or two, maybe 2 more weeks before it settles down. Of course, all the teams I'm doing are winning, so they continue on into the playoffs. So I got to go back up. I think I've gone to New Hampshire like 9 out of the last 10 or 11 days. And that's on top of my regular job. So that's why you haven't seen me that much. I did sneak in some time with Rod to do a show and Dave Little tomorrow night. Again, we're hoping to be live with Dave Little after we record the podcast, hoping to go live with a post-game show and continue what we're talking about there. And he played some hockey. I played some basketball. So I think it'd be a fun discussion talking about playing sports that we're not familiar with or playing sports that maybe it's not our favorite sport and what kind of products we try to do with those. I have some interesting products with basketball. He has interesting projects with hockey. So I think it's going to be a neat little discussion there. Neat little discussion. So, and Lake Effects comes by and says 80s, 90s are my go-tos for nostalgia. 70s for games I wasn't around, but love hearing about growing up. All right, so you're a little younger than us, so your cholesterol is a lot less than some of us. Speaking of cholesterol, so I ended up going to it was yesterday. I get out of one rink and I'm on my way home and I was hungry because I had to drop off stuff and go to the second rink. And so I stopped by Burger King. And I like to get the Burger King hamburgers, just the regular hamburgers. I get like 2, sometimes 3 of them if I'm hungry, and a Diet Coke, whatever it is, medium Diet Coke. No fries, no Whoppers, nothing. Just the regular hamburgers, just to kind of, because it's something warm when I get out of the cold rink, and they sit in your stomach all day. Let's just say they hold you over all day. So I pull up to the drive-thru at Burger King, right? And I know there's a little thing going on with Burger King and McDonald's right now. And I says, so the guy comes over to speaker. He goes, "Thank you for choosing the king over the clown. How can I help you today?" I thought it was pretty good. Thought it was pretty good. I got nothing against McDonald's, but I thought it was interesting. Thanks for choosing the king over the clown. And so thanks for choosing Burger King over McDonald's. I thought it was a little jab, but it was fun. It was fun. And John says he likes History Maker Baseball, Strat Baseball, and Season Ticket Baseball. I like again, mine. I like the season ticket baseball, APA baseball, payoff pitch, and strat baseball. Those are my 4. There was another baseball game that now and then sneaks onto my channel. I don't remember which one it was. But I do like that. You know what I wrote down the other day? I didn't realize how many seasons of Hockey Bones drive-through cards have that I don't. I thought I had just about everything that was offered for Hockey Bones, but I think Dave Arlington and Tim Plum, they snuck a few in there since the last time I checked, because I saw a whole handful of those. I might have to go and pick up some Hockey Bones here with some of my plunder from all these extra jobs. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. And you got the catalog already? Yes. So Chris sent you the catalog. Isn't that an APA player's dream? Anything you want, APA related is there, even if it doesn't exist. The Japanese stuff, I'll probably never play it. It might be fun. I mean, just to read off the names, I might look into getting a couple of Japanese teams just to have some fun with it. Maybe, I don't know, get 4 teams and have a small tournament just to read off the names. Now Matsuzawa and I remember all the names from the Godzilla movies. Serizawa and all those guys. It'd just be kind of fun to say that there. And so I might look into that too. I'll be placing a lot with Chris at some point. But he's if APA football, APA baseball. Chris, if you're still out there, send me the new catalog too. I don't know when the last catalog come out, but zip that over to me. And again, if you want to show off the hair set, if you want to just throw the video up there, they can go check out all the cards in the hair set that we talked about tonight. That'd be kind of fun. Oh boy, so up there, the Sarnia Legionnaires, Junior B, ended up going 0-50 for the season, and he saw them lose their last home game on Saturday. We had the team from Sherbrooke. No, it was Universal Vermont was the name of the team, but they had some guys out of Sherbrooke. I think it's Vermont. They play in Vermont, but they're from Canada. Something about it, it's a little cheaper to play in the United States that way, or something like that. Maybe it's hotels. I forget what it is. But they're from Vermont, but they're technically Canadian teams. So they came down, and all the Canadian names are there. Pichet and Gaye and Goyer, and just trying to say them correctly. It's fun, but it's challenging trying to get them right. Because I'll go over to the parents and they have that really deep French accent, and it's like, how do you say this guy's name? That's Gagnon. Well, I can't say it like that, so I'm trying to write it down. It's like this, like Sanyo. Yeah, like Sanyo Gagnon. Okay, Gaye. Is that like Yippee Gaye? Like, yep, something like that. I just want to get them as close as I can and have some fun with that. So the French teams come in, and it makes it challenging. But the Japanese teams would be fun too. It really would be, to try to say those names and have a good time with it. And Ron Job says, I only have inside pitch currently, but I'm looking forward to spreading out to other games. Chris's work makes you want to try APA. APA Basic is one of the easiest games you can play. I love playing APA Basic or even Strat Basic late at night when I'm tired and I don't want to have to think about too much. That's how easy it plays. As much as I like payoff pitch and even season ticket baseball, there's a little more thinking than the basic games here. Not a lot, but there's a little bit more. So I look at like I say, I love playing APA late at night. Just pull out a couple teams and just play a game, and go 14 innings, stay up till 1 a.m. Right? That's how it goes, right? And Summer Road says, my first look at Chris's catalog was, wow, so much to look at and choose from. I definitely love the cards or the photos the most. I like being able to play APA with a baseball card. Yep. I just I'm not so much big on the player cards. What I like is this right here. I like seeing the logos on the back. I'm a logo guy. And again, that's why I have them make me these here for my football set, so I can put them on the table when I play. And I just enjoy it. I just like how they look, and I like having them on the table. And I'm a big logo guy. And Some Road says he plays basic, so it's so approachable and easy to play, fast and fun. Yep. It's Appa Basic so easy. You just roll. So again, you roll the dice and you look at the number here on the card and oh, it's a 9. What's 9 say? And you go to the chart and 9 tells you what happens. It tells you everything that happens, all the base runners and everything. It's so easy. It's fun. It's a good time. I really really do enjoy that. And I love the Apple football too. I almost pulled out that the other day, and then I got the playoff schedule. It says if I set up Apple football on the table, it's going to take me 3 weeks to play that game because I just don't have any time to come down here and play. So I haven't set up Apple football yet. I have a ton of Apple football games I want to play, just the one-off games. That's my goal this year is to try to play some of the seasons I got when I'm not working. That's the goal. That's what I want to do. But so many things here. I got the decade set that Chris sent me, so I have that. Now I have the hair set, which needs to get on the table, and these are all great for Appa Basic. It'll give me a good excuse to get back to Appa Basic, And then I get the World Series teams from last year, and my next Appa order, I'll grab the World Series from Appa too, just so I have them. And Some Road says I've been branching out a few different games. Status Pro, History Maker Baseball, and Strat. Also looking at Payoff Pitch and Season Ticket. I'm a big Payoff Pitch guy. It just, again, there's no perfect game. There's no best game. It's just what works for you. And for me, the Appa Basic works. And I've always liked the Appa system. And some people say, I don't like Appa because I don't like the charts. And yep, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's not for you. And that's okay. It doesn't nothing wrong with the game, nothing wrong with you. It's not for you. Um, and some people love the charts. I love the charts. And that's why I really like watching playing, the hockey, the baseball, and the football. And I have to get back to the golf. I have to get back to the golf. In fact, I'm gonna little spoiler here. Once I get settled down here, our next prize is gonna be Appa Golf. Yes, we have someone who donated Appa Golf to the prize vault, so we'll be getting Appa Golf to one of our Patreons or our YouTube members, and we'll be sending that out. It's just a matter of time for me to sit down and kind of plan that all out. And John, hopefully make it to D to D. I hope so too. That's coming up now. That's 2 months away. 2 months away for a D to D con. So I might have to bring some of the stuff. I might have to play some Appa baseball. I might have to get what did I say it was the teams I like? The Clippers with Reggie Jackson and the Lookouts. So I might have to get some of those on the table. In worst case, I'll bring them so people can see them and just see the work that Chris does. It looks really nice. And Matthew says he enjoys replay baseball, fairly easy to learn. I have that on the computer, and I like replay PC baseball. I do. I like it, and I've had some fun with that. And I've streamed some games where you roll your own dice, and I've had Freddie Lynn walk off home run on a 6-6-6. What are the chances? Right? I rolled 3 6s, dropped the dice in, they come down the chute. I was live too. I was live, and you saw the 6s roll out, and that won the game. Yes, it was. Oh, well, okay. Speaking of Waffle House talk, right? So scrolling through Facebook the other day, and I have like some movie groups that I belong to, and somebody posted a poster of Vincent Price. Now, we all remember Vincent Price, right? The horror guy of the 70s and the 80s, maybe even 60s too. And it was the Waffle House of Horror. And it was Vincent Price in his poster with the Waffle House, but it was a horror movie. And I don't know if it's a real movie or if it was just a funny poster. So I posted that on the Sports Sim Tabletop. Oh, man, I'm screwing this up. Sports Sim Magazine. Sorry, I'm tired. Sports Sim Magazine Facebook group with the Waffle House on there. I thought it was fitting. I thought it was very, very fitting. But yes, we have to get some Waffle House talk in here too. And yeah, I can't wait too. And you're bringing some of the. So who's bringing this? Is it some people are bringing some Strat stuff. I want to like do some more Strat stuff. I played some Strat at PlayCon in Colorado with Glenn Guzzo. That was fun. That we got to play some Apple football. I'm not Apple football, Strat football. I'm sorry, I'm very tired right now. And so that was fun that he sat and showed me that. I wish they had more seasons. That's my gripe with Strat. I'd have a load more Strat baseball seasons for Basic if they were in stock, and they're just not. The hockey I'm not a big fan of. I've played it. I haven't played it in a long time because I like some other hockey games. But I would pick up some football and give football a try if they had some seasons. The only season they have in stock right now that I would like was it 72 and 77 are the ones they have in stock. I'm not a big 72 fan, but I could maybe get 77. But just I don't, as we talked on the show here, one of the big check boxes I like is seasons available. And I really don't want to, fall in love with a game that doesn't have any seasons. I call that the oh, what game is that? What's that baseball game that I got that's got one season? The rest are like the best of. Oh, I can't even think of the name of that baseball game now. I'll think of it in a minute. There's a baseball game I have one season for, and I like it. It's a real simple one chart game. Really like it, but they don't have any seasons, so it's like I'm not even gonna play it and like it because I'll be so upset that I can't buy more seasons for it, and I can't remember the name of that game. Okay, good. Okay, so the Big Red Machine's gonna be there with all 4 games. Fantastic. Yep. Basketball? Yeah, if you're playing the basketball, I wanna sit down with that, even the football again. I like to kinda refresh the football and, go over the basketball. I do have some basketball. I need to get back. Now that we've had, Rod on for basketball, I'm in, like, in a basketball mood, and I wanna, get, Strat basketball. I need to learn how to play it, but the basic was fun. The basic basketball was really, really good. It really was. Um, Sean, yeah, he's a big here's the pitch guy. He likes that. I've not tried that yet, you know? Um, yeah, but the thing is, if it's a great game and you're like, "Oh, man, I got 1 season to play." I mean, I guess, but it's like me, I love to bop around and play different guys and play my favorite teams and oh, man. Yep. Trying to find time to play. That's the thing. Yeah, and Ron says the same thing. That's my only prerequisite. I want my game to have plenty of seasons to choose from. And that's where APA really worked for me, with the hockey, okay? Because I was playing strat hockey and I liked it. I think I was playing basic and I liked it. I played a little bit of advanced and I was like, yeah, but I like the basic better. And so I was playing some strat. I was like, but there's not a ton of seasons. And I picked up a couple, on the black market, as they say. They were really expensive. I'm like, oh man. But I did get a couple seasons I really wanted for strat. And I looked and says, boy, APA's got every season in stock that I would play. I mean, they don't have every season, but they have every season I would play. And it was Appa Chatter and Tebow sent me some old Appa sets so I could try it out. I was like, this is not bad. So I ordered uh, all new sets of all the games, and so I got the hockey in, and I got 90-91, which is one of my favorite seasons. And I started playing it, and I was like, it was okay. And I says, if I can make this work, if I can really, really make Appa hockey work, they have every season I would want to play. And I stuck with it and it worked and now I love it. I do. And one of the reasons why I stuck with it is because of all the seasons. Whereas Strat didn't have that. Um and yeah, let's see over here in the chat. And John said he's gonna try to be there a day or two ahead. I'm gonna try to get out there a day early. I think it starts Friday. I'm gonna try to be out there Thursday morning. That's what I'm gonna try to do. And Some Road says, I like to have all the seasons available too, even just from a collector's perspective. Yeah, and I talked to Replay Gamer about that when he was on the show. And there is a collector's aspect to it. Okay. And there's something to be said. And I know Jacket collects seasons on some of his PC games. He goes, I have the entire, Bobby Orr run, or I have the entire, Canadians run. And so he likes to do that. Even baseball, he's got tons of baseball. So he likes to collect the seasons, even on the PC, and even with basketball too. He likes to have certain things collected on there, and that way he can play it anytime. But there's a little bit of collecting there. What I like is I collect, but I also will use. It's not going to sit there. I mean, some seasons obviously sit there, but it's not like I got like some decorations around here. I have a couple of mugs and some things I bought at sports stores, and I never touch them. And I just look at them, and they're neat to look at. But these things, when I pull out the seasons and play, I'm actually touching these things, so I feel like I'm getting some use out of them, and I am. I'm getting some use out of them, and I really like that. But yeah, collecting is part of it, and when you have the option to, chip away and at your collection, that's what makes it fun. That's what really makes it fun. And that's something I wish, uh, it would be a little bit different with some of these other places. And John comes by. Good to see you. Looking forward to D to D. I see there'll be a season ticket baseball training going on. Yeah, that's going to happen again. That was a fun time last time. A lot of people jumped right on that. Yes, and Ian's going to be there with On Deck Baseball. So I'm looking forward to that. Last year, I didn't get a chance to sit down. Ian's table was jammed, right? So was Steve's table with his game too. With the high leverage baseball. I don't think he's coming this year, but those two tables were packed with people. I didn't get near them at the last D to D con. So I was like, good for you. You get people playing your game and, you're going to make some sales and they're going to enjoy playing the game. So I was like, good for you guys. Really. I was happy for them. So I need to sit down with Ian. It is a fun game. I haven't played it in a while. I do like it. If I remember correctly, because it's been a while since I played On Deck, I need to put that back on the channel because that's a fun game. What I need to do is, if I remember correctly, the pitcher fatigue. Let me get it out, Dave. Pitcher fatigue. I really enjoy the pitcher fatigue in that game. How you actually roll dice after each inning, and depending on what's happening there, and you don't know. It's not consistent, which is great because if you roll good, he's hanging in there. If you roll bad, then he gets fatigued a lot faster. And I really like that. I like the fatigue factor. It makes it feel real. It makes you feel like that this guy has got a lot of energy today, or maybe he doesn't have a lot of energy today, or maybe something's bothering him. It gives you that human factor because there's that little play, little sway in how the fatigue is done. I really like that. I really like that. Dave Little says, I haven't had the chance to sit down with Clay Dresslock. That's one of my goals. I sat down with him in Colorado, in Connecticut, and we had fun. In fact, I pulled him aside on one of the days, and I was in Colorado, and it was like when things were done, and I says, Clay, can you sit here and just watch? He thought I wanted to play. I said, I don't like to play with anybody. I says, can you sit here and just watch me play your game and make sure I'm playing it right? And he did. So he watched me play, and I played it right. And I even got a successful suicide squeeze. I did, and I had a successful suicide squeeze. And we were laughing about it because there's some people who will not let you suicide squeeze if you play them. So that's why I play alone, so I can suicide squeeze. I'm not going to mention any names of people who get mad when you suicide squeeze, okay, because that would not be right, if their name appears on the screen, that can't be helped, but I will not mention any names. But I did have a fun suicide squeeze in Colorado, and made the trip worth it. It really did. Anyway, Michael's here. Yes, I gotta start getting some stuff for the swag bag too. I'm gonna try to find some things that I can put in there and help you out with that, so we can have a fun swag bag again. Michael did such a fantastic job at D2D last year setting it up, and he knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he did it. He set it out as a Dave, I'm going to do this. Let's do it. So Michael just does such a fantastic job. This year, I think, was a little bit easier. I think last year we did all the hard work. Deciding on a place, and I drove down to Connecticut 2 or 3 times and met with him in the hotel and went over some things and tried to figure out what the best plan of action would be. And so this year we just kind of like re-upped, and so I think it's been a lot easier. We're having pretty much the same amount of people, so we didn't need a bigger venue or a smaller venue. We're just going to keep the same venue. And so if we just kind of like do what we did last year, I think it'd be pretty good. But yeah, Dave Little, sit down with Clay. Make sure you do that in Connecticut, and yeah, it's like baseball cards that you use. Like even my baseball cards, I have them here somewhere. I probably have a couple of cards, whether they're hockey or baseball, that are worth something, but they're just sitting in the closet. But these cards here, they will make the table, and I will use them, and I will have fun with them. I really, really will. So it is part of the collecting, but also it's a good time. And yes, Strat Basic ignores the fatigue. That's fun. Again, Strat Basic is fun in its own right. It really is. And you can work in the fatigue if you want. You could just say, hey, look, I'm going to take him out. He's too tired. And yes, it was Mike. And I'm nice to Mike. We had a nice chat there a couple weeks ago on the phone. It was a good time. And now that the snow's melting, he's been out shoveling. He fell while he was shoveling. It said it fixed that pain in his back though. So whatever his pain was, the fall put it back in place. So he saved all this money on a chiropractor just by falling. No, but it's serious. He's okay. He's okay from the fall. But yeah, so I haven't had to shovel him since Friday. We did. We had a nasty storm Friday morning, and it was an ice storm, and I had to go clear off everything. It was terrible. Terrible drive into work on Friday morning. Um, but anyway, so yeah, so looking forward to the swag bag. Let me make a note here, Michael. I'm gonna get some stuff for the swag bag too. I got some things in mind. All these things I'm trying to do. I just haven't had a chance to set up and take a look at. But I did get the unboxing here tonight. Again, the reason why we did tonight, if you haven't been following here, is if I come overhead here. So this is what I had. This come in the mail. This is from Chris White at VSU Sports, and this was designed by Some Roads. And this is the set that was sent to me today. Here, it was a well, I guess we're going to call it fictional, right? I think that's what we talked about as far as fictional goes. It's a fictional set of cards, but they are playable with APBA baseball, and it's the all hair guys. Okay, so all these guys with hair, facial hair, long hair is what it is, and they're all different decades of players, pretty much, mostly 70s, 80s, 90s, and current. But there's my favorite guy, Reggie Jackson. And again, they're all done up APBA style, so you can play it with APBA. They have the nice team logo on here, which is kind of neat. And if you see, they're all done up, photoshopped with the Clippers name on here, and they did such a good job of this. Chris White, fantastic job. Some Roads, great job of designing these and coming up with this concept here. And I do like all the envelopes, how they're set up, very old look here to the envelopes and the team. So I get 6 teams to play with, the all hair team, fictional teams, real players, and 70s through current. Yep, 70s through current is what it was. And looking forward to, really am. I'm looking forward to playing this set here. And they look great. They're fantastic. In fact, I pulled out some of the decades teams. I was just showing off some of the stuff that Chris White does because they are fantastic. The Chris White stuff is so good. And again, I was showing off my my football team cards that I get, and they're 2-sided, and I just like to put those on the table when I play certain football games, and those work out great too. The scoreboard I got from Victor Wenzel. You remember that scoreboard that he got with the dials? I like to put those right on the dial, so when I'm playing like the fast drive football, it works out great. So I can put them on the table, and I can put the team cards behind everything, and those cards there, the logo cards, will go on the scoreboard so you know who's got what score. And I do like that, and that's how I set up my table sports. When I'm not bringing out the Al Wilson tile scoreboard, when I'm bringing out the other one, sometimes it's easy just to use the dial than to use all the tiles. But either way, I like to pull out these these team cards here, and they're double sided, and just I have them pretty much for every season I play. And again, they're not that expensive. The team cards are not that expensive, but good stuff there. And they're 70s through current, and they look great. And again, Ron, that is true. This is probably the statement that this hobby really has some intelligent and creative people. Yes, it is. And you can really, really get some fantastic, fun things from people in this community. And whether it's scoreboards, whether it's games, whether it's custom cards, custom envelopes, mats. People design mats. There was a guy in Canada that was designing Strat hockey mats, and I bought a few from them. Of course, I got the Bruins and the Seals. And he sent one to me for Ron. So Ron has a Montreal Canadian Strat hockey mat if he wants, or a board, I should say. And some people do some fantastic work. The Excel spreadsheets from Keith. Oh my gosh, I can't play APBA or Hockey Bones without those spreadsheets. They're so good. It is fantastic. and just all the games that have been created, some of the quick play games. John Turnbull's got some fantastic games, and he's fairly new with this stuff. And so, yeah, I mean, this hobby is just so cool with and even since I've only been doing it, what, 8 or 9 or 10 years, I haven't been in this hobby that long, and I've seen leaps and bounds. I really have. There's been so many things that I've seen that have been created or done, whether it's helpers or new games, or again the stuff that just makes your experience better, whether it's envelopes or cards or mats. It's it it's really just the sky's the limit. And some people just like to just take the card and play, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like to jazz it up. I like to have a mat. I like to have a scoreboard. Even when I don't stream, I like to pull out the scoreboards and have them, and have them in front of me, and see the team logos and the colors, and it just makes it more intimate for me. It makes it more, maybe intimate, that's the word. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. It just makes it more, I don't know what the word is. It just, you're setting the mood, setting the tone. You got to set the tone, right? It's just kind of like, when you go to someone's house for dinner or Christmas or something, and Christmas is the best time. When you go to someone's house for Christmas, and they got the tree, and they got maybe some decorations out and some candles out, and they got the nuts on the table, and you go, and it's just, the mood is set for Christmas time. And that's kind of how I look at setting up my table sometimes. I like to set it all up so it just puts me in the mood that I can see everything and visualize everything, and it just makes it deeper. It makes it very deep. It really is. And yes, the creativity, it's pretty endless. There's a lot of people that does some things. Yes, Francisco, I couldn't say his last name. Um, Yes, it was, and I haven't heard from him in a while because, again, I haven't played the hockey in a while. But he did some fantastic stuff. In fact, I told him what I wanted from my Bruins, and I says, these are the guys I want on the board. And he actually put some old '60s photos of some guys. Like, no, I don't want the '60s. Give me at least '70s or '80s of these guys. And so he did. So he swapped up the photos and sent me the proof. I was like, that's it. That's the one. And so, yeah, it was really fun. Yes, but Francisco or Francois was one of the two, and I forget his last name. I couldn't say it. He even joked around. He goes, "You'll never be able to say my last name." So I said, "Okay, I won't." But I was dealing with him on Facebook. It's one of these things, one of these guys that I took a chance on many, many years ago. I didn't know who he was, and so I PayPal'd him. Again, he could have ripped me off, but he came very well um, uh, respected, and very well. He had a lot of references, and everything was fine. Everything was fine. It was really, really good. And so I'm happy that he did that. And yeah, Blaine says it makes like you're watching and broadcasting a real game for you. Okay, and that's what I go for. So I just broadcast what I like to see. When I see people playing, I like to see the score because sometimes I'll check in, and it just kind of orientates you to what's going on. And then when you got the colors, you kind of get in the mood. You see, like when I see this, this card here, I can visualize the Patriots in those uniforms, and then when I see the Jets, and it's like, oh yeah, those green uniforms are the Jets, or the Oilers. Oh man, remember those light blue? It brings you back to those happy times, and that's what I like to see. So that's what I try to set the mood here. So I like to have the scoreboard and something on here, whether it's the custom logos I cut out and put on there, or the ones that Chris makes me, and just try to make it fun. And that's what I like to do. And yes, the Xmas mood is great stuff. And that's kind of, I have my happy place as a kid, going to my grandparents' house for Christmas and seeing all those '70s cardboard decorations and the fake tree. And remember, we had the spinning wheel with the lights, and it would shine on the fake fireplace. It was so cheesy, but it was so good, and I couldn't wait to get there and see that stuff. And then you got the stuff on the table that you would never touch. Some of the hard candies and stuff you never have, and they probably just reused them every year. Kidding, maybe. Uh, but it just, everywhere you looked, it was just Christmas. And when you went over their house, and I've actually had a couple of dreams that I've walked in that place at Christmas time, and they were still alive, and it's just, that's my version of heaven right there. I was walking as a kid, seeing the tree, the presents, probably the 8-track tape going with Perry Como or whatever doing the Christmas stuff, and it just everywhere you look was Christmas. They did it up so well for us. Everywhere you look, there was Christmas. Dining room table, Christmas stuff laid out with all the food and good times, good times. And so that's what we try to do here is do that stuff there. Um, and yeah, some of that stuff, yeah, struck him out. You gotta have fun with it. You gotta have fun with it. And yes, ambiance is a great thing. That's what we try to do. Um, and I do that when I do my broadcasting too. I have a fun time with it, and I do a little bit of the John Boy lip reading, except I make it up, and everything I say is completely false. But it's a good time. When the referee goes over to the coach, he starts talking. The coach's like, "Why didn't you make that call?" And the referee says, "I don't think he tripped him." And the coach is like, "He definitely tripped him." The referee says, "Well, I don't think he did." Then the linesman comes over. He's like, "Yeah, he didn't get tripped." Yeah, see, even this guy says he didn't get tripped. And it's all just me making it up, but it makes it fun for the broadcast, is what it does. It's all about having a good time. Again, this is supposed to be fun. Cards and dice and games. This is supposed to be fun, and I don't get why some people just can't be fun with it. We got to have a good time. They shouldn't be arguing and fighting. It's fun. Let's keep this fun because there's so much fun to be had, so much joy to be had in this hobby. It really is. And yes, he did great work on the boards. I don't know if I still have, they're in my strat box. I'd pull them up, but they are in my strat box and they're like way over there. So I'm not heading that way. So I won't be able to get them. Yeah, it was like Bellevoie, something like that. I forget his last name. I think it began with a B. Yeah, single because he likes to mingle was just like, what can I come up with that rhymes with single? There's nothing else I can think of. Pringle didn't make any sense. So the mingle was kind of good because he's mingling with the first baseman, right? After he singles, he's going down and he's going to mingle with him, right? He's going to mingle around. I don't know. It just happens. And some stuff catches and people like it. So I use it, it's just supposed to be a good time. And Ron Job says, the little extras add a realistic and nostalgic atmosphere while playing. Yep. Yep, and that's what I agree, and that's what I like to do. I like to kinda jazz it and a lot of it's for me. I mean, yeah, I like to put on a show, but a lot of it's for me, and I just like to kinda make my tabletop look good. I really do. And that's why, this set here is gonna be fun because you got the players on the back, their stats on the other side, and there's a lot of things you can talk about, you know? So aside from like, a regular Apicard with, stats and stuff, I mean, now you have the whole back you can talk about on stuff like this, and it just makes it fun. It's a good time. Again, we got to have a good time. Um, and yes, it's enjoy the games of the team in my youth. Way more fun than watching current teams. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. I don't know many of the current guys. Um, just they just don't, I think one of it's a time thing because if I have if I have a night off or I have a day off, I don't usually sit and watch TV. I mean, I'll watch some stuff with the wife. We have our shows that we watch, and that's our time together after dinner or during dinner. But if I like, she's in bed or if she's out or if I have something to do, and I mean, if I have time, I'm not going to sit and watch a full game. I'm going to come down here and play something and play a team that I want to see. Doesn't mean I don't kick back once in a while and watch a little bit of the game of whatever's on, but I don't remember the last time I watched a full game of anything current. It's even watching a movie's kind of hard sometimes because I just feel like I'd rather come down here and play the cards here. I really would. Um and yeah, there were great family times, especially going to grandparents' house. Yeah, that was the place to go. I was kind of lucky that my grandparents, at least on my mother's side, had her young, and she had me young. So there was only, I think there might have been less than 40 years between me and my grandparents. So when I was 10, they were probably not even 50 or close to 50 at that point. So I knew them well into my 30s or at least 20s. So I think my grandfather passed away 2002. So what was I? 35? I think I was 35 when my grandfather passed away, and then I was probably 40 when my grandmother passed away. So I knew them for a long time, like a real long time, and I even lived with them for a while. So um, for me, I was lucky that I had grandparents that were around a long time. I even knew my great grandmother. That's something else. She was really old at the time, but I knew my great grandmother, and she used to babysit us when we were real little. So yeah, so it's just that's one of the good things about the situation I was in. But yeah, my grandparents were great. They set it up, and they were young enough that they could do it too. That was the thing. And Lake Effect says, my great uncle used to have this bowl of those pillow mints. Oh, they would yes, never touched them. And just wolfing them down while the kids went to the other room play video games on their spare black and white TV. I couldn't stand those little pillow mints. They were just like, ugh, just give me chocolate. Really, give me chocolate. Yes, and keeping it fun. Yeah, that's what it is. A single dingle. I think the single because he likes to mingle. Shane, I think that's a little bit better. But Sean likes those mints. Holy cow! You like those mints? That's crazy. That's crazy. Can't use Pringles, yeah, because yeah, once you have just one, you gotta stop. Although I will say, Lake Effect, I picked up some low salt Pringles the other day. I didn't like them. I didn't like them, and I don't know if it just you gotta be in the mood for Pringles. Sometimes Pringles are awesome, and other times they're like cardboardy. She found some really, really thin regular chips, and they were lightly salted, but they were like you could like see right through them. They were so thin, and I really liked them. I did. I liked them a lot, and so those are my go-to chips right now. Um, and Barbara says, we would always go to my grandparents for Christmas Eve. So much food, so much fun. All the cousins and everybody it was good times. Yep. And oh, she liked those mints. That's kind of wild. I really didn't like those mints at all. What my grandparents did is, because my family is so split, we would Christmas Eve we would spend in our house. It would be my mother and my stepfather, and we would just like be excited for Christmas. We get to open one present, and usually it was something like a box of cereal or something, just to open something because we just couldn't stand ourselves. And then the morning we would have Christmas, where I lived, and we would have a pretty good Christmas. And then mid morning, 10:30, we'd go. My dad would pick us up, and we'd go to his house. We'd have like a second Christmas there with his family. Now I don't know how they ever waited around so long for us because we were tearing open presents at like 5:30. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my gosh, that's one thing they did. Say what you want about my situation, but Christmas was packed with stuff. It really was. We had a good time at Christmas. A lot of presents. Didn't make up for some of the things, but it did. Christmas was always a good memory for me. So then we get back from my dad's, after lunch sometime, and then we would pack up and go to my grandparents' house. And we would get there Christmas Day, 3, 4 o'clock, and we would spend the night there. Like we'd be there all night. And that's how they wanted it. They said, look, go get all your Christmas stuff done. Come here, take off your shoes, and you don't have to worry about doing anything else. You're here for the night. Plenty of food, open presents, whatever we're gonna do. And that worked out really well for many, many years. My grandparents would be the last stop. We try to get there 3, 4, 5 o'clock, and we'd be there till 9 or 10 at night. And then we'd go home and just have all the stuff to go through in the morning. It was just such a fun time. And that's what I try to do with this hobby. Try to have a fun time with this hobby. And whether it's playing the games or unboxing or showing off some stuff that I got, like envelopes or whatever, this should be a fun time. We shouldn't be any issues at all. We should all be so appreciative of the games that we have and the things we can do. It should be like Christmas for us. Every time we play a game, it should be Christmas. It really should. And Blaine says I had both my great grandmothers until my early 20s. Still have one great grandparent now at 36. Okay, so you're a younger guy. I'm trying to remember my great grandmother. Well, I'm trying to remember that we moved into a house in 78, and I remember bringing her to the house, but she had just had stomach cancer, and they took out part of her stomach, and she couldn't get upstairs. And they're like, "Oh, we'll carry you." And they're like, "If you drop me, it'll be the end of me." So she just stayed on the first floor and never got to see the house. So she did make it to 78, which would have made me 10 or 11 years old. So I knew my great grandmother at 70. in 1970, so I was 10 or 11. And then after that, I think she did pass away. Barbara would get sick from eating so much candy. And yeah, great times. Yes, it was. And we look back and we treasure those times. We do. And we should be doing that here with what we're playing here and what we're doing. Yes, this was the Hair League. He wanted me to create cards for his team, 16 to 23 players. Yep, Southpaw. Yeah, we took a look at those tonight. We took a look at all 6 of those teams. I feel bad. I didn't realize that some roads is the one that created those, and I didn't realize he didn't have them in yet. I thought he had them, so I kind of feel bad. If I had known he hadn't had, I would have waited for the unboxing. But they come in yesterday, and so today after I worked and then went out with some friends, I says, "Oh, if I get a chance, I'll unbox them tonight." And so I did, but I didn't realize he didn't have them in yet. I kind of I kind of feel bad about it now. Um, let's see. Boggs takes the pitch into right and singles a jingle for a single. Yeah, I still like the Mingles a little bit better. And Christopher says both of his grandparents passed away before he was born or shortly after. Yeah, that's too bad. And Shane says Pringles are like the overprocessed version of potato chip. Yeah, as I get older and I'm trying to make better decisions. Not that I am. I try to stay away from some of that stuff. I do. Like I said, when I went to Burger King, I don't even get the fries. Once every few months, I'll get a small fry just to have a few, but I just try to get the burgers. Even that's once in a while, you know. Pringles an unhealthy chip. Yeah, they probably are. And Barbara gets sick from the chips, the Pringles. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna probably throw that can out that I got. I was like, I got them one time and I liked them, and now I don't really like them anymore. And Sean likes the honey mustard flavor. And yeah, things aren't like they were. It's too bad. Um, Sean got a can of them today. You know. And Barbara's grandmother, not a word of English, but they found a way to understand each other. Yeah, every now and then my grandparents would talk in French, and I'd be like, "What? What? What?" C'est bon, or all whatever he said. I don't know what he said. It'd be nice to have him now to help me with some of these names, right? For the hockey that I'm doing, you know. Yeah, Sean, depending what you want, you can get yourself all worked up with stuff on YouTube. You really can. Um, so I did that too. I went down rabbit holes and saw stuff and just like, what am I thinking? It's like really, well, what am I doing here? Let's just, I gotta stop, watching stuff that's just kind of yucky. So uh stop doing that. My new thing, I'll tell you my new thing in 1 second here. My new rabbit hole. Um and Lake Effect is playing Fast Drive Football 90. I love that game. I really do. Um and so you're gonna get yours set in pretty soon. So yeah. Yeah. Well, what it is we're dealing with people, and people bring issues, even to the most fun things. People bring issues. It's like going to a family barbecue. Someone's got to have issues, and then you just have issues, and so it's just what it is. It's anywhere you go, there's people. Every single hobby. I get friends in all different hobbies, and everywhere they go, there's issues because it's people. And even in the town, like you go to your town's Facebook page, and you're like, oh man, my town's Facebook page is the worst ever. They're all like that. They're all like that. It's just people being people, you know. Um, but so my new thing that I've been watching to get away from all the yuck out there. I've been obsessed with the Mount Everest climbers and the things happening on Mount Everest. And probably in the last couple weeks, I've learned more about Mount Everest than I probably ever wanted to or needed to. And I know it's a very high mountain. I had no idea like all the stuff that goes on in that mountain and how hard it is to climb and how long it takes. I mean, I didn't realize it took, just like over a week or so just to get to the base camp at 5,000 feet. And how once you get there, you start setting up and stuff, and then you go up and down to the next camp and come back down a couple times just so they can get you used to the climbing part of it while it's still at a safe altitude. And then if you're okay, then they bring you up to base camp 1, and then you stay there for a while. Then it's base camp 2, and it takes weeks to climb Mount Everest. I thought it was just, again, I know it's way up there. It's what, 5 miles high or whatever it is, or yeah, 5 miles high or something. again, I just didn't know. I know people trekked up there. It was a big deal, and I remember seeing pictures of it. But just the amount of money it costs is somewhere between ten and $100,000 to climb Mount Everest because you got to get there, and even if you take the cheapest guide, it's still $10,000 because of all the stuff you got to do. And the more money you spend, the better people you get to bring you up there. But it's basically, if once you get to a point on the mountain, if you get past camp 3 or 4 and you die, they might not be bringing you down. And there's nothing they can do to help you at that point because it's just the conditions are so bad that they literally just step over you and the next guy just keeps on going. And and if you slip and fall and you fall down, they can't get you. So even if you survive the fall, no one's coming to get you. It is really weird that people even want to do this, but they do. And just I don't know, man. If I'm climbing up and I'm seeing a body here and a body there, and they've been there for 20 years, maybe it's not the place you want to go. But I've gone down this huge rabbit hole from Mount Everest, and it's been interesting. It's taken me away from all the yuck in the world, and it just and they said there's so much trash up there because people bring their stuff up there, and there's really like no trash barrels because they can't really empty them. And there's only, I think, base camp 2 is as far as they can go with helicopters and trying to get stuff down. And then after that, what's up there is up there, and it's just a mess. And there's not much they can do. I mean, they can try to clean it up, but it's just mostly about surviving at that point. And then even like you got to go to the bathroom, it's got to go somewhere up there. So there's all this little crap up there, and so they're trying to scale back on the amount of permits now because there's lines of people that get stuck, and you get behind somebody slow, and you could be waiting 2 hours, and you're just sitting there freezing and using up oxygen. It's been quite the enlightening experience as watching this here, and me and the wife will watch it. It's just like, wow, why would these people want to do that? Really, it's just like, come on, come on, you know. Um, so anyway, that's been my rabbit hole. Instead of watching the yucky stuff, I've been turning to fun things. And again, whether it's the community here playing games or talking or whatever, or I've even been playing a little bit of video games now, but I've been trying to avoid that stuff there. I started watching season 2 of Monarch, the Godzilla series on Apple TV. That's been kind of fun. There's another series we watch on Apple TV that's back. I did catch the new season of Shorzy on Hulu, so I did watch that. And I like watching the series now because you can get, it's like 25 minutes to a half hour. And so you don't got to sit for an hour and a half and watch a movie. So I do like that. But yeah, so, and can we start some King of the Hill turn? Yeah, that should be kind of fun. Let me know how you make out. Let me know how your teams make out. I was going to ask you for batting orders, but after looking at these, I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play the guys that I want to. Much like the all decade teams here, everyone's good, so it's not like you got any bad guys. So I'm just going to play the guys in the position I want, and I'm going to do that with the decades team too. And I think that's going to be the way to go. And over here in the chat room, let's see here. And Sean he says, I played road hockey twice recently on the driveway to get into a hockey game, returning old and feeling better. Yep. I haven't played hockey in about a year. I still referee, but I've been so just busy with stuff, and I'm probably out of shape now. And so my playing days are probably pretty much older. Summerroad says lots of great Everest docs. John Cracker's book is great on one of the Everest. Yes, someone told me that. Yes, I was at hockey the other day, and there was a guy, probably my age, a little bit older, and he still does some hiking, and I don't know where he goes, but that was his job, was a side job or something like that, showing some people how to hike or helping people hike. And he said Into Thin Air. It was one of the great books about the Everest tragedy, if you will. He said Into Thin Air. Yeah, so it's funny that you say that he said that. Yeah, I at the rink, I got to climb up a couple sets of stairs at the rink and I have trouble. I get to the top, like, whoo, that's about it for me. I got to take a rest. So, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And Dave Little says, I refuse to participate in any hobby which might result in my death. The other rabbit hole I went down probably 6 or 8 months ago was the cave, what do they call them? Cave explorers, where people go into the caves and then they start crawling through, and some people, like, they map out the caves that are underground, and it's about all the people that get trapped under there and died too. And, you know these people are crawling in, they get little lights on their helmets, and they're going through these tiny, tiny holes, and it's like, I don't even know, they can't even turn around, so how would you even get back? And sometimes their arms get wedged, and it's like, if something happens to them, they're 100, feet down, and it's gonna take the guy behind him, if he can even move, it's gonna take him a half hour, 45 minutes or longer to get out and then go get help, and so you're stuck down there. And it's about all these people that have just been in precarious situations and died, and it's just like, "Well, we need to go map the caves out." I'm like, "Why? Why do we need to map out caves that are beneath us? What is the sense of doing that? Who needs to get down there and why?" And I was telling my friends tonight this at dinner, we were talking about some of the things we were watching. I says, "I went through this whole thing about people that are crawling in the caves, and the comments are priceless." Like, when you go to some of the worst ones there, when people died, and some people, they couldn't even get them out, like Mount Everest, they're there and you can't get them down. If you're far down there in the cave and you die, sometimes they can't get you out. And um probably the best comment was from this one guy, and he says, "I can sleep well at night knowing I will not die like this." He's basically saying he's not going to put him in that position, to a position like that, to die. It's like, yeah, it's like, there's no way. There's no I hated crawling into stuff even as a kid. I hated, like, exploring. I just, nope, nope. I wanna see the sky, and I don't even like being in the water because you can't see the sky. I wanna see the sky and touch the ground. Again, I just try to be safe. I just try to be safe. But yes, yes, Dave Little, yes, I don't wanna, well, I mean, I guess you could die if you're playing basketball, right? Hockey, football, you could die playing, like, regular sports, but I mean, I guess those other ones there, um, yeah. I know what you're saying with that. You don't wanna do anything crazy, that's the thing. Yeah, again, if I'm playing some Apple baseball here, and I die, there's really not much I could do to prevent that. That is, it's my time, and that's just kind of how you got to look at that. It's just, if you walk out front and a meteor hits you, that's your time. I mean, that's just the way it is. You can only be so safe, right? Let's just call it what it is. You can only be so safe. And Sean's excited for the playoffs. I haven't really followed the playoffs too much. Did they trade Austin Matthews? Is the trade deadline gone? Did they trade Austin Matthews? Um, I'm not sure about the Sabres. Like I said, I haven't followed too much. I don't really know what's going on. And you got to have fun with it. And that's why we have all these games. And that's why it's great having people like Chris White who will create stuff for us and make our games funner. And Victor who will create the scoreboards, and Al Wilson who creates scoreboards, and the little plates that you need for the names, which I bought. That was my big Black Friday thing, was the Al Wilson stuff. And the quicker play games he plays, and just, it's good stuff here, and ST coming out with his basketball game, and um, Clay with his stuff, the season ticket stuff and the mogul stuff. I need to go and play some of the more of the mogul games. Those are fun. That sports football, football mogul, it's such a fast game to play. It was really, really fun, and so I want to go back and play more of that. I actually saw it, but the last one I bought was a few years ago, and I was playing I think it was the '93 Oilers. So you remember the Oilers when they collapsed to Buffalo up 35-3 or whatever it was, and they lost? I started playing them the following year just to see how they would do, and it was just kind of fun playing the Oilers in that, because you can play those games so fast. You really can. Let's see here. Back over here. And Blaine also says, because that's how I am with my fiction league. There's really no bad plays, so there's not a whole lot of wrong answers for a lot. And I was thinking that as I was going through them, I was thinking that it's like, I really don't have to worry about putting in a bad guy. I can put whoever I want in at whatever position, right? And have some fun with it. And oh boy, Summerroad says, I've done deep dives in the caves, which is odd considering I have bad claustrophobia. Those videos freak me out. The worst one is the Nutty Putty cave. That was one of the worst ones. That poor guy. and I won't tell the story, but it's pretty sad. But I was watching. There's now a VR experience for the Nutty Putty Cave tragedy, and I think you just watch it on YouTube. But there's someone they recreated it, and you can watch on YouTube what this guy, yeah, again, probably computer generated, what this guy saw and went through, and it's just like, no thanks. It's the other one I saw too was the scuba divers that are going through the caves and stuff, and then they get down so far and they get disorientated, and then they're done. And they're trying to go through caves, and then they take the wrong turn, and you never see them again. And then they can't really send divers down to find you because it's like, they'll send somebody down and they'll die trying to bring the body back. It's like, now we got two bodies to get, so it's like, I'm sorry, you're going to be down there forever. It's so sad. It's like, oh man, why do you need to get down there? I get this. It is kind of fun watching the videos. It's like, it must be kind of neat going through and going places that no one ever sees, but they can't get to you. They can't get to you if something happens. In Nutty Putty Videos, a horror show of cave. Yes, it is. That was so bad. And Curiosity did kill the cat. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And there was no trade of Austin Matthews. Okay, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. They were talking about him going to the Kings, and I don't know. It's too bad. I like Toronto. It's just too bad that, that's what it was. And the trade deadline's a yearly holiday for you. That's great. And the deadline passed. Matthew's still in Toronto. I was kind of hoping they moved him. I think it's time for him to get out of there. And yes, I'm hoping if things go well tomorrow, Sean, I got the new beta. It's actually in beta now. So I downloaded it. I just need to set it up, and maybe tomorrow, depending how it goes, it's my only. I get a half day tomorrow. It's not a day off, but I do have a half day. Although my wife's going in for surgery Tuesday, so that might really do some things. Nothing life threatening, but it's a serious issue she's got to have done. Yeah, she's in and out of the hospital now. That's the fun time. That's why I'm trying to cut back on work too, because she's been in and out of the hospital. It's like, no, I can't be like taking off and working all the time. But if I can get some of that in on the channel tomorrow, I will. I have Dave Little tomorrow night. Again, we're hoping to record at 8 and then Boston time, and then maybe around 9-ish come on live here and have the post game show if all goes well. That's what we're going to do tomorrow night. But if in the afternoon, if I can sneak in some demo of the payoff pitch PC, I will. And he's done a lot of work on it. A lot of work on it. Yes, 35-3 comeback. Yep, that's what it was. And Mike goes in the caves. Last time I was in the caves in Cooperstown, New York. He froze his boat up. Couldn't wait to get out. And that's the other thing about that is that you go into these places like what it's Mount Everest or even the scuba diving, and it's cold and it's brutal. And it's not like sitting in your living room or being out in the backyard or, where you can call an ambulance, they can come get you. It's they can't always help you. Especially on the Mount Everest. If you get real close to the top there and you start having issues, and what's sad, there were so many people that were on Mount Everest, and the guides are like, "You need to go back down. You are going to die. You need to go down right now." And they're like, "I paid you all this money. Get me to the top." And they're like, "You're gonna die." And they're like, "Get me to the top." And so the guy gets the guy to the top, but he makes it. He's like, "Yahoo!" And then he starts coming down, and they die. And they said, "I think there's more deaths on the way down than there is on the way up." And it's like, was it worth it? No, I paid $75,000. You're going to give me the top. Well, you paid $75,000 to die. Come on. Come on. And I know you probably never go back, and it would suck to see it and be, man, I'm so close to that top, but is it worth dying over? Really? You know? AP wants a new version of Baseball Mogul. Yep. 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 Good night, Dave. Yeah, I'm going to be jumping off here in a minute myself. So I will get a hold of you tomorrow, and we'll get together and we'll have a nice little chat, is what we're going to do. And Captain Carl says, trying to decide the lineups for those teams like trying to decide between AC or DC. Yeah, it is. It's like picking your favorite song. There's so many good ones. It really is. The Last Dive is a pretty good book on Cape School that ended with tragedy. Yeah, there were so many tragedies in these things. I don't know why I watch them. I guess, and you never got to think about escape rooms. Well, the thing about escape rooms, Chris, I've never done one. My wife did, and they failed miserably, and they kept needing clues just to get by. The thing about escape rooms is that you're not going to die. You know, it's just, can you solve the puzzles? And sometimes you get it or you don't, and most people probably don't. But it's just the idea that, you can go in a room and it's like, okay, where's the key for this thing? And you look around and you follow some of the clues. So I can see how that could be kind of fun. I do. And then again, and, you're not up, 5 miles in the air, or down, 1,000 feet under the sea where they can't get you, or in a cave somewhere. It's just good natured fun. But I can see how that would be kind of fun. Um, so I did enjoy that. And MVP comes by. I was watching your channel the other day. I was watching an old bank shot basketball video of yours, MVP. So I did. I was like I said, I just been working and laying in bed. And when I'm laying in bed, if I can't sleep, I scroll around, and I was watching some of you bank shot video. Seeing stories of those guys stuck headfirst in tiny cave patches stick with me in my horror for days. Yes, I did. I was freaked out about some of those. Like, can't move. It's like I can't go forward, can't go back. I got no leverage. And then they try to pull you out, and they set up all the pulleys, and they're like breaking your legs trying to get you. Oh, no thanks. No thanks. Yes, yes, nightmares, and especially the underwater ones. That freaks me out the most. It's like you run out of air. It's like, ooh. Oh, I don't know what's worse, because if you ran out of air, you would drown like that. Whereas if you're stuck in a cave, you'd stay alive for hours, and that would suck too. They both would suck. Yeah, it always looks good because they never air the videos of the guys that don't make it. Although the ones I've been watching they've been showing the people that didn't make it. There was one that was so sad. Well, several are sad, and you're going up, and there was like it was like real tiny cave. It wasn't a cave. It was really more like just a couple of rocks that were overhanging, and there were two bodies in there. And one guy was face down, and another guy was in there, and he had crawled in to shield himself from the wind, and he sat down on his bum, and he brought his knees up to himself, and he put his hands around his knees, and his head's down, and he's been that way for years. And people, like, he's frozen in place, and he hasn't deteriorated because of the conditions, and it looks like he could just kind of get up and walk away. That's what these people look like, and they've been there for years. And there's another girl they call Sleeping Beauty, and the girl died, and she's just off the beaten path a little bit, and she's just laying there like she's sleeping. And they see her hair blowing in the wind. It's almost like she could just kind of get up and come on over. But it's creepy. So I start seeing dead bodies. Like, if I walked to the end of my driveway and saw dead bodies, I wouldn't walk to the end of my driveway. I'd be back. And I'm not making fun of it. It's just, yeah, come on, people. And Mike says, looking forward to pay off his PC. Yep, yep, yep. Thank you, Sean. Yep. She just can't stay out of the hospital. But she did go out to dinner with us tonight, but she's gonna be laid up for quite some time after the surgery, so hopefully she'll be all right. Yeah, thank you so much for the best wishes. Yeah, she's at that age, and that's what kind of stinks. And it just stinks that I'm in my busy time too. So hopefully her sister will come help us out here. And um, again, she should be able to get around, but it's just like, I don't know how much. So I'm just gonna say, oh, just don't move for 3 hours. I gotta go to work and I'll be back. Luckily, my work doesn't mean I'm gone all day, but sometimes it is. I will never go in a cave either. Even when I was a kid, poking around. Nope. Nope. How about no? Am I going to be the first person to play apple hockey on Mount Everest? I don't think so. I don't think so. I have, even when I was younger, I didn't have any, there was nothing that wanted me, that was inside of me that wanted me to do something like that. Like, like in here in New Hampshire, I think it is, you can drive your car up Mount Washington, and they have bumper stickers that said, "My car climbed Mount Washington." I didn't even do that. I didn't even want to drive up the top of a mountain. Oh man, yeah. Do you know how to do it safely? Is just to watch it on TV or on YouTube. Watch National Geographic, and that's fine. And I got watching more than Mount Everest. It was the K2 was another one. There was another one that was the deadliest mountain climb, and people were still trying to do it. Oh, this is great. This is the deadliest one. This is the one I'm gonna do. Just gonna add my name to the list, right? You know. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Barbara. Yeah, hopefully, tomorrow she's going to get the consultation from the doctor, and they're going to find out what this whole thing entails. But hopefully, it's going to fix whatever the issue is. Just it's going to be down and out for a bit. Oh, oh, oh! Would that be the worst? Oh my gosh! Yes. Imagine you get to the top and you pull out. Let's just play a couple of innings of APA, and the dice falls out of your hand and falls 5,000 feet down the hill. Oh. Or the card blows away. We talk about keeping the cards in the envelope. You don't want to be the guy stuck in the envelope. Well, maybe that's the safest place to be. Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious. It'd be hilariously bad. It kind of you ever seen that picture or the poster, which is probably, I think it was in the late 70s or the 80s. We had it hanging up in our school, and it's this big, tall, don't you want a piece of land? And at the top, there's a soccer field, right? And all these people, all the soccer players, with big noses, are looking over the edge, and the ball's all the way down in the water. That would be what it would be like. You're at the top of this big soccer field. You're playing, the ball goes off the edge, and that's what it would be like. Yeah, that would be terrible. Thank you, Christopher. Yeah, we're hoping everything's going to go well too. I mean, technology today is amazing, so we're hoping for good stuff. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, yeah, the bears would drag the bodies away at your place, you know? The bears. So, yes, I've seen the videos you posted, and they're big bears. Yep. And, yes, and skydiving's the other thing. Skydiving's the other thing. Although you have 2 chutes. If both chutes don't open, again, it's your time. It really is. It's your time. But that's another thing I wouldn't just not a big thing. Not a big thing for me. Yes, there's a lot to do around Foxwoods there. A lot of people went down to Mystic and did some things. Some people showed up for a day and then they didn't see him again. They took off and did their thing. So that's a fun thing. Kind of hang out when you want to and take off what you want. That's what it's wide open for. Did you go to the aquarium? It's not a very big aquarium, but we last time we were down there, we went to the aquarium. It's fun to poke around. And then next to the aquarium, there's this little, it's like a parking lot with all these little shops. It's not a mall. It's like a strip mall, strip outlet. And they got some great stuff. We got some cookies in there one year. They were some of the best cookies I ever got. They make them all down there in those little stores there. Um, good times. There's some good stores down there in Mystic by the aquarium. Barbara's going to go skydiving. Yeah, maybe you can get a Waffle House to sponsor that. An MVP. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The Australian Grand Prix. I like watching car racing in the summer times. Night racing in the summer times. I relax to that after work. Skydiving is a how about no? And the wingsuits. I was watching some of that. There was a wingsuit video I saw the other day. It's like the guy, he had trouble jumping off. He's like, no, not yet. And it's just like you jump off, and if you don't catch the suit, slam into the mountain. See you later. Yeah, it is the flying squirrel. It is crazy. If first you don't succeed, skydiving's not for you. Yep, that's pretty good. Oh man. So anyway, yeah, the aquarium videos. Yeah, I'd rather watch that than some of the stuff I'm watching. But anyway, so yeah, thanks for coming by. I just wanted to come by and show off some of these things. So again, some fun things here. I got my hair league cards with some fictional teams and real players with guys full of hair. Very creative. Some roads come up with that. Chris White put it up. Very, very creative. Great job with that. And I got a chance to show off my decades teams and a few other teams sent by Chris White. So again, a few people got the catalog from him. Check it out. I'm hoping that I'll get my new one in the mail as well. I got to get some stuff from him too. Like I say, I might look into some of the Japanese stuff. I don't know anybody, but it would be fun because that's the great thing about the APA basic game. You can just play and have some fun, and I don't have to worry about tournaments or anything like that. Just play and have some fun with it. Just like the dead ball. I love playing some of the old dead ball stuff because I don't know it that well, and I can just enjoy it. like basketball. I can enjoy basketball because I just don't know it that well, and that's what we're going to talk to Dave Little tomorrow night about. So hopefully to see you then. If we go live tomorrow night, hopefully around 9 o'clock, maybe we'll see you then. If not, then the podcast will be coming out. But thanks for coming by. Hope you guys enjoyed this here. And yep, thanks for coming by. I look forward to seeing people at D2D in a couple of months, playing some games, talking some games, showing off some things. Who knows what's going to be there? I know there will be one new game that has not been announced yet. Okay, so just a heads up, there will be a new game. It will be announced maybe a month before the show because they want to show it off and talk about it and maybe even take some orders so you can actually pick up this game at D2D. That's all I'm going to say. The plan is right now we're in discussions about how we're going to show it off. And I suggested, he says, I want to show it off at the convention. So, well, it says, bring some games to sell. I says, either that or let's show it off early, get people excited so they can buy the game there, take some pre-orders, and then you can still show it off at the convention, but at least people know what it's going to be. So looking forward to that. But yes, thank you so much. Again, Some Roads, thank you. Thank you so much for that. This looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll play some of this online and offline, so it should be a good time. But thanks to everybody that came by. Again, have some fun out there. We have so many things here in this hobby to enjoy. And it's and I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to playing some of these things here. And again, probably I'm gonna hopefully have a couple more unboxings coming up in the next month or so before the convention. I need to again you work all these crazy hours, and I need to buy something fun. I need to open something to make it feel like it was all worth my time. Paying bills is okay, but you need to have something fun, right? Need to have something fun. All right, I'm Dave from Studio B. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.